Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures looking to kick off a brand new trading month into August now. On a positive note, we are back to the upside after a bit of a muted session on Friday. Continued Delta variant COVID concerns remain kind of lingering in the background. We had daily case counts in the U.S. reach their highest point over the weekend since back in February. So still some concerns regarding stocks related to economies specifically starting to reopen. We'll talk about some of the travel names coming up here. CCL, though, in positive territory along with some of the other cruise operators this morning. Overall, though, pretty positive July for all three U.S. indexes, the NASDAQ and the Dow up 1.2, 1.3 respectively. The S&P led the way, though, in July, adding more than 2.3% on the month. It was positive earnings that kind of led the catalyst at the end of the month. We'll get more coming out this week. Obviously, we're into the latter part of the earnings reporting season. 88% of those companies in the S&P that have reported beating EPS estimates to this point. Chinese EV makers to look at this morning. We'll talk about NIO, Xpeng as well, and Li Auto, all out with delivery numbers for July. You'll be surprised at who delivered the most out of those three, and also Robinhood shares pretty active once again in the pre-market, coming off the IPO last week. We'll talk about HOOD coming up as well. It's Monday, August 2nd, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at positive numbers to kick off the new week, the new month as well. The NASDAQ leading so far, 0.41 to the upside, 0.33, 0.37 for the Dow and the S&P. You can see TSX futures flat here, but Canadian markets are closed today for holiday. So you will not see that move a lot today. Brazil, 0.85 to the upside. They're open and trading already. Crude to the downside. We have Bitcoin falling, Ethereum higher by 6% to start the week. So we'll have a look at crypto markets. Sean is back in the building after a long holiday weekend. Friday versus Monday. The rest of the country gets Monday. So it's fine. Welcome back. Good to have everybody with us on a Monday, brand new month as we head into August trading, guys. Lots to talk about this morning. Interesting numbers coming out of China as far as EV deliveries. We got the July numbers from all three. It was Li Auto with the most. So we'll talk about those three coming up. Robinhood a little active once again, but should be a good start to the week.
Yeah, absolutely. We still get some good earnings this week. I think everyone's looking forward to that Friday jobs report that's going to come through. I'll say it because I know, well, I'll probably be the only one that actually cares about the track and field, but congratulations to Italy. I'm a huge Olympics fan.
Hey, I tweeted out, good luck to
Marcel
Andre.
Jacobs.
Come on, man.
Unbelievable. But the coolest thing I saw to me was Tam Barry winning the high jump in the duel, because to me that was just unbelievable. Two great athletes coming back from basically career-ending injuries back in the day. If you had an Achilles, it was a career-ending injury, and then sharing a gold medal. That's pretty cool. But I'm a huge track and field fan. DeGrasse, congratulations for his silver medal. But an unbelievable run. Sometimes you just got to show up. Like Jacobs wasn't necessarily the guy who was a favorite, but he ran brilliantly. So it was good fun to watch. It's going to be a wild week. Obviously, you guys can tell. TSLA, what's that company again? Tesla at $699.42, but it already broke 700 this pre-market, so we're right at that 700 mark for Tesla. Wow, lots going on.
Yeah, we've been talking about buying Tesla there for a bit, and glad to see that it's up to 700 again, finally. Thank God. I didn't get any new money in there, but I did get some money in. And here we go, guys. I did, Neil's way bigger track fan, but I did tweet out, let's go Andre, and unfortunately get third. Third is fine. Third is fine. And then what's up to Luis responded. Hey, Luis, if you're watching there, he was talking about the bad start. Yeah, not a great start for him, but what a great comeback there. Anyways, great race. The best event, right? I think the most heralded event, and whether or not it's the best or not. But the 100-meter, congratulations to everybody watching the Olympics. I think it's been pretty good success. I mean, they were considering not even having the Olympics due to, of course, COVID, and it seems like it's been a pretty big success. But hey, it's glad to be back in the saddle. The penmanship, thanks, Mike, for that. I've tried to improve some of the penmanship there off some comments, and thank you to Valeria for ordering me a nice new pen, so that should be working as well. But a couple names on board. I'm going to be looking at NEO out of all those EV names, but you're right, Brendan, a few other ones there. Lee and XPeng surprised us as well with big numbers. So hey, look, the EV space is going to continue to grow. That's obvious. I just always worry about the Chinese, some of the rhetoric that can come from that government, right? But it seems like they're not really attacking any of the EV names, so I think that's an all-clear space.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how they pan out today as far as Li Auto, XPEV, and NIO. We also have Square to talk about as well. Seems like everyone is getting into the buy now, pay later game. So we'll have a look at Square trading lower on that deal news. Before we go any further, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Hi guys, welcome back everyone. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and ready for a productive week. Please make sure to like this video right now and let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's get it started, yeah. The Dolphin Entertainment, guys, this NFT related name keeps popping up in front of me here on this volume scanner, but there's a deal announced today with this FTX. So Dolphin and FTX partnering up to create a NFT marketplace where you can buy and sell NFTs. So if anyone's noticing that DLPN, that seems to be the catalyst behind that one. We'll watch it seems like whenever there's news around NFT stocks, they all kind of move, but this one pretty specific so far today. As far as what else to expect, we do have some decent earnings still to come. As we mentioned this week, we are getting into the latter half as far as the reporting season is concerned. As I said, guys, of the companies that have reported from the S&P, 88% beating to the top side, which is a little higher than normal. So it has been pretty positive as far as the reporting season is concerned. But overall, lots to come again this week.
No, absolutely. And look, speaking of that Dolphin, it just came back about $1 here. So watch out. And there's this EVK, which is moving quite a bit. They had a share repurchase program that got announced. So you're going to get Alibaba this week, which I think is going to be one of the more interesting ones. The only reason I come to Alibaba for earnings is because you had that bounce back, and everyone had talked about the bottom being made in some of the Chinese companies. And then you got to keep in mind that Amazon reported last week, and that dragged everybody down because, well, because they're monster tech name and the first to get a big bounce down, more than 5%, but missing on a revenue number in a related space, and with all the worries of slowdown, that obviously was going to end up weighing on Alibaba as well. But then you get a little bit of a recovery here today. That 200 is sort of well within sight psychologically. So, I know we got a lot of big names, but last week, with some interesting ones that were in play for other reasons that will now report this week. Like you get Uber, which was in play obviously because SoftBank decreased their stake in reaction to the whole Didi thing, and now you're going to get Uber reporting earnings, which probably they're going to be a heck of a lot more important, I think, after last week's action than they would have been before. So hopefully that'll give a bit of a buying opportunity, and Uber can make a real bottom at some point here. And Alibaba is pretty poised. I mean, it's tough to say it'll be a blowout after what happened with Amazon. I mean, they're likely going to be relatively similar. But hey, man, if they do better, if their revenues are looking pretty solid, they're the cheaper name, and not just because of the stock price, right? So like it's one of those things where if we have made a bottom when it comes to Chinese regulation risk, it looks fantastic for Alibaba.
I know we have Mark Roberts from Sunlight Strategies and coming up, and that's obviously such a treat for us to have him on. So we'll see if there's any names coming up that he's looking at as far as earnings are concerned. But yeah, I mean, we pulled the trigger on Alibaba last week, 183. So pretty happy with that. We told you, when we did it, I was even telling you we bought it at 183 when it was at 181. So we didn't get the best price, but we'll wait to see what Alibaba does. I want to turn my attention a little bit to AMC here, and just to note to everybody the volume. And again, I wasn't here on Friday, but the volume today is only 250,000. Friday we did have this nice little move down in the afternoon, basically stopping out at that $40 level again. I mean, it was only 39 and change, but just refusing to get to 40 early, and then ending the day at 36, 37. But if you take this 20-period chart here on AMC, and this is the thing, it keeps trying to hold. Like, we could go lower. I mean, we could go to 35. I don't know if we're going to go to 31, but this kind of area here between 35 and 36 seems to be like we held there, we went down and closed higher that day. We bounced a little bit off 37. We opened 36.50, closed higher that day. Opened at 40, stopped the move at 37.38. This move came all the way down and stopped again at 36.37. So just looking at AMC here, I think that could be very interesting of a spot. And then it's hard to talk about AMC without looking at GameStop quickly. I think both of us, Neil definitely trades GameStop way more than me, but I think we both look at AMC almost on the regular. But look at GameStop, the chart looks a little different than AMC. That's what I was trying to get at, where some of these bottoms really haven't been holding. So, if you're going to be weak on one, I would rather choose GameStop to be the weak one and then look at AMC to hold some of those levels. So I'll be looking at AMC today. And then before we go back to you, Brendo, let's just quickly check the imbalance locator here. So some Chinese education name there, EDU. We've talked about that over and over again. GE, I hope you didn't wake up today and thought that you were 7 times in the money because, of course, GE does that reverse split.
What?
Oh, I thought it was 8-1 though.
No,
it is 8-1. So they're just getting crushed
8-1.
a little bit today then, down to the downside there. So we'll see. It should have opened up a little bit higher, but yeah, a little bit suck there. So if you see your broker statement and you're like, oh my God, GE, what did they do? Yeah, they're just GE guys. They're never going to be going up 700% in one day. So watch out for that. And other than that, Pinterest, good name. I know I saw Neil trading that on Friday. But Pfizer also on the sticky note today. Love me some Pfizer. Love me some Moderna. Wish we could get into Moderna, but that stock is off to the races, so we'll have to trade some Pfizer today.
All right, as mentioned, let's bring in Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, and get his take on what to expect for a brand new week. Good morning, Mark. It is Monday. It's the first day of August, brand new month here as we head into August. An interesting look as far as the overall market is concerned. We're still kind of hovering here around all-time highs, kind of there or thereabouts, near all-time highs. We have a PMI number to come this week. We have jobs data, obviously, to come this week at the end of the week on Friday. But as far as the overall market is concerned here, what are your thoughts as to where we are and where we could go over the next week or two?
Well, as you mentioned, with 88% of the earnings coming in better than expected or near the higher end, the path of least resistance remains higher. I think we're going to be backing and filling, and I think there's a better than even chance that we go up another few hundred S&P points. So I'm becoming extremely bullish in here.
As far as individual names or maybe individual groups to kind of look at here, I noticed some of the solar companies getting some upgrades again today. They're the kind of stocks that kind of linger in the background. We don't pay too much attention to them. Not terribly exciting as far as day trades go or shorter term timeframes go. But this group has been very strong over the past little while.
Yeah, there's still a lot of unsure news that could come out, whether we extend tariffs against the Chinese on solar panels, whether or not we give rebates for those that use residential solar. So the group on weakness, if you will, is a strong buy, but I need to know what catalysts are going to take us through to the next level. It's uncertain at the moment.
And we got more language, I guess, more actual written language as far as the infrastructure bill is concerned out at the end of last week and then over the weekend once again. Is there anything in that to come or to come from that, I guess I should say, that might be a catalyst here this week as far as you're concerned?
If the progressives in Congress, the U.S. Congress, weren't trying to ruffle their feathers stronger and bigger, I would say we're at the end and it gets signed off with more bills to follow. At the moment, it looks like it may be a no deal because both sides can't agree and the moderates won't give the progressives what they want. So I'm getting a little frustrated and a little nervous because this should have happened in a Congress that doesn't have a lot of days left.
As far as focus from that goes, I mean, we've seen some of these electric vehicle charging station type companies kind of pop up every once in a while on hopes of money coming their way. We've seen the typical infrastructure related names kind of get a bid from this news as well. Is that to continue, or do we see a little bit of a reversal here?
I think that's unclear too. I did a lot of driving in Maryland, Virginia, the DC area last week, and I don't see very many charging stations, whether it be on the highways or in municipal garages. So I'm not sure where this goes yet, but this is not a one situation where we flip on a switch and the charging stations appear.
Return to the earnings side of things here. Once again, Mark, we've had, as we said, we're kind of getting into the latter half of this reporting season. Are there any individual names still to come that you kind of have earmarked or a check mark beside as far as interesting?
Yeah, let's see. Tonight you've got NXPI. Tomorrow, Clorox. You've got Lilly. You've got Marriott. You've got a lot of travel-related names. On Wednesday, you have a lot of industrial names, and on Thursday, more drug and food-related names. This is going to be a very, very interesting week because it's the guidance I'm looking for going forward.
Yes, sir. It's Mark Roberts from Sun Lake Strategies. Thank you for joining us once again, Mark. And how was the weekend? The weather here was a little chilly. I'm not sure what it was like on your east coast there.
It was good, but this morning the trucks are out in front of all the houses near where I live.
Oh, no.
And they're taking trees down because they hit power lines a few weeks ago when we had about 4 inches of rain in about an hour.
You know what? Oh, well, that's. I hope everyone's safe there. It sounds. Hope they didn't wake you up. All those trucks. But you know what I like about this season, and for some reason, so it's only 18 degrees Celsius here. But I feel like when I woke up, it was like minus something. But I like when you sleep with the windows open, and then you get that nice fresh breeze when you're finally waking up, and it just feels amazing. So that's my favorite season's actually fall. So that's the return of football. I get to send the kids back to school there. I know that's not a problem that you have right now, but that's my favorite season. Yours is summer, Mark?
No, mine is fall.
Bang! Mark Roberts hit the siren. This guy's winning everywhere. Okay, I did want to talk about a few names here as we get back on topic. And what about Pfizer? If Pfizer's a name that I've missed for sure down here. I mean, I don't even know what it was doing in February back down at $33. I actually want to go find what some of that rhetoric was back there that caused this massive dump off. But now Pfizer's starting to go. I'm hearing more and more about a third shot. I see Israel's starting to take the third shot now. Whether or not it's necessary, who knows? But I just feel like Pfizer, BioNTech, and then Moderna today coming out with some news just now about a study as well. So are we into Pfizer now, or is this a little overextended? Like, I'm just looking at this, where it is from the 50-period moving average, like 43, 44. Is it crazy to start a position here?
Well, assuming there was no news, if it had opened around 42.81, I would have started to scale in with a 42 low.
Right.
I would be aggressively buying.
Okay, I just want to say that, Mark, I don't know if you're reading my sticky notes or if you even have a Twitter account, but that's exactly what I said. Let's start buying around 42. So, okay, I think we're on the same page with that one, so that's good for Pfizer. Check the sticky notes out at Trader TV. You talked about food inflation and things like that, I believe last week, and then this week now we're getting a few more names coming out. We talked about those, and then obviously the hospitality space as well. Can you give us a name anywhere about the food inflation side of things? Because I do like that. Do we look at grocery stores? Do we pick up a name even like a Walmart that we know sells grocery, or are you specific to food, like a Tyson or something like that?
I go with the spectrum, Walmart, Albertsons, ACI. I go into Bungie, BG.
Right.
I go into Archer Daniels, ADM, and I go into Cisco Foods, SYY.
So when you say you go into those, do you look to take a position in all of these? Do you spread them out equally? Is there something about one of these names, maybe in particular, that you like better? Or is it just spray the money around and see what happens to those 5 or 6 names? Because Bungie, you've talked about it for a while, and it looks like it may break out if it can get through 82.
Yeah, I took a position in all of them, equal weighted. And for me, I'm going to sit and wait through it and see how all this plays out. But these are long-term positions.
Right.
They're not really day trading positions.
Yeah, because Walmart's really been stuck. I'm just noticing doing absolutely nothing. Like, it seems like Target is the best of the best there. I know Target, at least when they were in Canada for a year or two there before they left. Thanks. I mean, I wish they would have stayed. I actually really liked Target. You know, Walmart like this, and then let's look at Target quickly just for some of our viewers in case they're not familiar. So Walmart, basically the same levels that it was. I mean, I can go all the way back to September and even pull this back even further. And so you've been losing money basically if you've been in this stock for a year. And then look at Target, on the other hand, I think is near all time. Yeah, as today, it looks like look at this. What in your opinion, Mark, and maybe this will help me understand a little bit better. Why is Target this way? So if you were in Target in September, you've almost doubled your money, yet Walmart has been completely flat. Is there something we're missing, again, just because we're here in Canada? I don't have the flavor or the feel for Target. Is it the online business that's rocking and rolling for Target?
I think it's more not so much the positive for Target, it's more the negative for Walmart. Walmart is battling Amazon, but in the same breath, you never hear Target and Amazon. So Target is taking themselves into a slightly different business model, if you will, and there's just been no dips. It's been an intraday dip of maybe $1 or $2, but not enough to get into the stock.
Yeah, it's there's been absolutely, I can't believe this run that Target's been on, and I wish I would have got into it. Generally speaking, my investment strategy was to buy whatever my wife spends a lot of money in. And when Target came, I think it's been working amazing. Like, she was not one of the first ones, but she bought Lulu pants like 15 years ago, and I was like, you're spending $100 on pants, what the hell? So then, you buy the stock, and now I can buy 10 pairs of pants with that same investment. And the same thing was true of Target and Starbucks. So I think we might be onto something here. Follow the mighty consumer, Mark, to the promised land. So, before I let you go, one more piece of news here, because it's a big holder for me, and I'm sorry that I'm addicted to talking about stocks and having fun. So I'll keep you on for one more second, Mark. What about Square here with Afterpay? So Square today dips down that 3%. I think it's a decent opportunity for anybody to get into it if they haven't been into Square, although it's a very, very volatile name, and we know that it will follow the NASDAQ a little bit here, as Tesla breaking above 700 now 704. Is Square something that you've been in early, or that maybe now you're looking at, or do we look at something like I put on my sheet, Affirm today, because of the Afterpay deal? Any thoughts on this Square and Afterpay deal?
I think the net Affirm will be weaker.
Okay.
I think this is a good deal for Square. I don't know when it becomes accretive. In other words, when it actually makes Square money, but it gives Square an entree into a whole new consumer. So if I didn't own Square, I'd probably buy a little bit.
Okay.
Presently, my position is underwater, so I'm waiting to see how all of this works out.
So you think this may be, because I actually put on my sheet here that this may be a good thing for Affirm, boosting its value a little bit, because if Square went after Afterpay, but then I sort of now think that maybe it takes another acquisition target out of the water for Square, right? So maybe now they're not going to have that premium maybe for Affirm. Is that sort of what you're thinking now?
Yes.
Right. Perfect.
The other thing is I'd add Costco to your list of targets.
Oh my God. I don't even want, please don't even talk to me about Costco, because this was a name that bounced around between $100 and $60 for the longest period of time. And now, it's still the Affirm chart. Let's just look at Costco together before I let you go, just so that we can all just admire what this stock looks like. It's an amazing stock, Mark, because not only are they selling out retail and they're opening up more stores and more warehouses and everything. We know all about Costco, but they do have that backing of the memberships, right? It's like they don't need to sell anything to make money, and let alone all the volume that they do. So give me a pick now for the next 6 months: Costco, Walmart, or Target, Mark?
It would be Target, Costco, Walmart.
I like it. Mark Roberts from Sun Lake Strategies, thank you for the talk. I hope it was okay, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Ciao.
All right, guys, a few analyst moves for you on a Monday. AbbVie on this side of the board today. Barclays liking that one. There's that First Solar we were mentioning. A number of analysts making moves on the solar space today. MasterCard, P&G. Nothing terribly exciting on the downside. Some energy names on here. Trivago to the downside as well. The travel names, though, overall kind of strong, guys.
Which is interesting because, when people talk about the Delta and some of the reopening names getting beat up, it's starting to be a bit of a concern. There was a question, someone asking about Caterpillar earlier, and I was like, look, nibble in front of 200 isn't horrible. It's not a bad level here that you have. Caterpillar had solid earnings, but they're getting, they're flat right now, but they got beat up a little bit on those, coming down about, a couple of points there. And if we were really talking, down around 180 to 185, that would look a heck of a lot better. But, for me, just to answer the question that we got in the chat, I own Caterpillar and I wouldn't be buying any more personally because I'm in around here anyway. So I'd look at like a 180 to 185. That's where I'd be buying on the dip. It's in that slight little reversal trend. The other way to play this too is, just allow it to consolidate and break out if you really love the name there, guys. So, Caterpillar catches that bit of a downgrade. You can sort of see on the chart it's on the midst of a little bit of turn, despite the fact that looks like that bill is going to get passed. Well, better chance to get passed this week.
I did see some people here talking. Let me find it here. So I tried to improve. Oh, here we go. Oh, I did put this up. So I did try to improve the art game here with the Van Gogh exhibit, which was absolutely fantastic. And here's what it is. That's my daughter giving the thumbs up. You sort of get here. Maybe I can put it on here. You sort of sit down and you get like immersed in all this Van Gogh stuff. So it's kind of cool. Like Starry Night, you guys, I'm sure if you're familiar with that, there she is with the thumbs up. She's 6 years old and really liked it. You're gonna see Van Gogh here in a minute, but basically you sit down or you get a seat or whatever if you're lucky enough, and then, there we go. It basically it's awesome music and tons of artsy stuff happening there. So definitely got a little more cultured there. Look at that. Yeah, this is amazing, the stuff that you see at this. So I just want to recommend, a lot of people asking me there on chat and attached to that tweet about that Van Gogh exhibit. But definitely, guys, check that out 1000% if you haven't. We took both kids and had a fantastic time. They liked eating at the lake a little bit better after that, though. So that was really fun. Oh, and by the way, Brendan, and we'll throw it back to you, I don't know if we've had ever a National Calamari Day, but my 6-year-old's new favorite appetizer, calamari, is in the building.
Grilled or fried?
I'll give you one guess, Brendan. What do you think kids might like? Grilled calamari or fried calamari?
Right.
Right,
Okay,
yeah. So we'll go with the fried there. Not only does it look like French fries, but it tastes somewhat like French fries. So that's why they like the fried calamari. But the 9-year-old stayed away. But hey, thank God, that's the Italian blood. And yeah, we have some Greek fans as well. So lots of good food happening there all weekend long. Let's get this show on the road.
The Van Gogh exhibit, that's the AGO, correct?
No, that was actually at 1 Young Street. So it's actually a brand new exhibit. They were supposed to have a huge air balloon, and they didn't. So.
Okay. Yeah, have to go check that out. Sounds good. Let's, guys, get into what is moving around in the pre-market this morning. Just unfortunately, FYI, our site is not updating for some reason this morning. So we apologize for that. They are working on it currently. So check back as often as you want throughout the day. But we are going to get the list this morning and the morning note this morning posted as soon as possible. The one that is on there, though, is from Friday. So just keep that in mind as we go forward this morning. Let's talk Chinese EV makers this morning. All three out with delivery numbers. And yeah, it was Li Auto, surprisingly, that delivered the most out of XPEV, NIO, and Li. So Li Auto, then XPeng, and then NIO, guys, only third with deliveries in July.
It's only a few hundred difference between them, guys. So Neil was like 79. It was like 86 to 83 to 79 or something along those lines. Look, don't get me wrong. Li Auto is going to be up 4% because obviously it was strong for them, and beating NIO is going to be a decent headline. But they've only done 500,000 shares pre-market, which is a heck of a lot more than when I had looked at it this morning. Both of these names, well, I should say all of these names had big moves on Friday. You did see a big move in the upside. Of course, Tesla made the same push. So all of these right at 9:30 made those presses in, and at least breaking out past that 34.25 already is Li Auto. It just turned around off 35, but the volume is so low. I just saw NIO breaking up at the same time that Tesla retook that 700. I think those are the two names that you want for the trade. Just given the fact that it was the stronger of the three, I suppose if you have one of those days where we're all bullish on, well, I'm assuming that you're all bullish on like your Teslas and your NIOs, and there is a bit of a pullback. It is worth watching sort of Li Auto if it thinks to get crazy down into like a 33, but I'd be much more interested in Tesla back and forth at 700 level. NIO, well, I guess it already broke out, unfortunately, so we'll have to play that one at the open, as opposed to Li Auto, which just doesn't do a heck of a lot of volume. But the chart looks pretty solid here, trying to break towards, and then a key level for Li Auto, if you're watching, you're in this name, watch out for 38. I think that's going to be a bit of resistance.
I did see someone asking me here. Oh, yeah, here it is right here. Mike, would I be able to put the sticky note on the watch list or Instagram? Yes. So we'll see if we can get that on Mark Roberts on the Instagram for you as well. If you guys want to follow, let me see. Whoopsies, I just opened the chat there. If you want to follow at Instagram, it's right here at TraderTV Sean. So I'll put that in the link as well, because we do have a lot of fake accounts going out there, and I know we always talk about it every day, but please don't respond to anything asking you guys for Bitcoin or like how I trade on the show is not how I normally trade. You know, send me $10,000 and I'll send you the magical formula. No, how we trade on the show is actually how we trade in real life. So hopefully you guys don't get that. I'll put the Instagram on there. So thank you so much. Hey, thank you, Amelie, everybody on there. It's nice to be back for sure. So I did put on here, although, you know, it was a great extra long weekend there. Okay, so we did put on here NIO at the top, one of the very first ones here. We do have a 45.20 break. It just looks like it's pretty strong today. I trade NIO more, obviously, than XPeng or any of those other names, so I am going to continue to look at NIO, even though I do understand that those other numbers were a little bit better. 45.20, so we got up here, we went as far as if you're going to play the pre-market break, it's like this 45, 40 or so. But I'm just looking at this area where we sort of stopped and go a little bit throughout the pre-market. And then if you call up a 20 period chart as well here for NIO, I just, it dips down. Like I wasn't here on Friday, there's no dip, but look at that move. Like how do you, like this is 42 to 45. That's 7% right away off that. So here we go. So you go back here, 45.20 goes back to the pre-market in the 23rd. We did have some 45 love back here. Looks like we're going to break 45, and then right here, the top on Friday, this 45.20. So we're already there. It's breaking now. I don't have it. It's happening in the pre-market. I may put on something small right now, but look, this is what happens with NIO. We still have a half hour to go. Like, I love that 45.20. It's on the sticky note at TraderTV Sean on Twitter. Find it and watch it. But I would much rather get a dip buy just down into this area if we can. If we can somehow get a 44 long, that'd be fantastic. And remember, the market could fall down. We're already up. Like when we first sat here, NASDAQ was only up 0.3. Now you're up 0.46. So it's going sky high here a little bit. So now we got to watch out for NIO at 45.50. But I still like 45.20. Let's hope it comes down. Any of the Chinese EV names, I'm going to be on NIO today, other than the other ones. But the other ones just look just as good.
All right, let's bring in Arun here, get his take on the overall market. We are positive once again to kick off a new month and a new week. Arun, what are you looking at today?
Well, futures, right? For a week now, we've been sitting above this 4,400 mark, trying to expand the top end of the range. We've got as high as just above 4,420. Again, we keep coming back down. So it tells me we are in a sideways range. 4,425 is the level I've got to the upside. Down below, I've got just underneath 43.50. So quite a wide range. We're at the top end of that range. So what I'm looking to do is try to play off of this 44.25, see if I can't grab a short. If we can get underneath 4,400 and stabilize, I'd like to be on the short side just because we're on the top end of the range, and I want to see if we can get to the bottom end of the range, make some money there at least. In terms of breakouts, obviously 44.25 breakout, breaking the top end would be the breakout play if you want to go in that direction. But given how many times that we've broken and gone absolutely nowhere, we broke 44.10, came right back down, broke 44.20, came right back down to 43.70 and change. So here we are. If we break 44.25, I'm gonna wait. Like that's a big thing right now. Given it's August, given how the market's been reacting around these levels, I'd like to wait before I go for this breakout long if it does happen. But I'll be open to it. I just want to make sure that that's the right direction. There's enough volume to kind of push this and continue that move. So 44.25 breakout to the upside would be a long. If we break 4,400 and kind of stabilize, I do need it to stabilize. It can't be just a quick wash to the downside. If we stabilize below 4,400, I think I'd like to put up 25 points, go for the short side play, and see if we can't get to the bottom of the range.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning, guys. Let's move on to Square. Up next, announcing a deal for Australia's Afterpay. If you missed it this morning, it's 39 billion Australian in an all-stock deal for Square. So we were down more than 3% at the lows here, down below this 236 area. But you can see already, guys, trying to get back to where we were on Friday.
Yeah, like so. Whenever there's a big should say stock deal. Whenever there's a big stock purchase price, like you get one with Square, like they usually the litmus is sell out. What usually gets stock gets sold off, and then you get like maybe like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Maybe the buyers start to come in and see a little bit of value, something along those lines. But that's getting turned on its head here as the momentum is really coming back into the upside on Square. Very rarely would you see with a purchase like this, regardless of what you sort of think about it, right? Like which. I tend to be on the side of this is a good thing for them. It's probably more a bad thing for PayPal than it is a good thing for Square as the competitive juices get flowing in the buy now, pay later space. But I really didn't think we'd have a chance to get back up to the 247 close and close or get back to flat on the session in Square. And if we did, I thought it would come with a dip at 232. That's the level I was looking at. That's where I wanted to be a buyer of Square today. I mean, at this point, it would have to drop $10 to get there on a hard reversal, so I'd have to revisit it when it comes. But I tend to think it's a good thing for them. I just want to go over to Affirm here because obviously you're only going to be up on Affirm because of this, and then Affirm was up 8%. So essentially, what's happened here is everyone's realized, oh, this is just a sympathy play for Affirm. Then maybe they can get bought out, but then it's like, okay, well, who's left to buy them out if everyone's just jumping into the space? Square would have been at least a potential for them, and they bring it all right back here. So I got to throw out the rollover at 60, which I did want to be doing in Affirm. I did miss the shot at it. It bounced back. The pre-market volume is ridiculously low at only 100,000 shares. So for me, given the spread and there was no volume, difficult to take that trade. But this is already come and gone. I'd be shocked if Affirm got back above that 60 level, unless both these names reversed really, really hard. It's hard to imagine Square dropping $10, but 232 would have been great.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at Affirm there and looking at the same kind of thing, thinking that, you know what, maybe this puts a sort of a value onto Affirm a little bit, but it doesn't look like it wants to here. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. I mean, obviously up that 8% was too high there, so we'll wait to see as it falls back in to 56 and change. We'll wait on that one. But looking at Square, like I said to Mark, I think he said he wasn't in this and looking to get in on any dips. But you might have already had that dip down there around that 235 spot there. I love fintech. You guys know that I'm all over PaySafe as well. Square's been, got really high value in my portfolio just because of the run that this thing's been on. 60, you didn't even have to pay that much for this thing back a year ago. Like a year ago, let's call it like 137 back, or even lower than that, like 120 back here in August. Now today you're up to 240, so basically a double in a year. There is a double in a year here for Square. So I would say, yeah, any pullbacks be pretty sweet into the 230s, but you're not going to get that. So yeah, where's yesterday's close? So Friday we closed 247. Let's see if we take. I mean, we're going to take this out right now. 244 and change. So the street loving this deal, I guess, guys. Only down 1.72% when you dilute your shares by 30 billion. That's pretty outstanding. So 244. Let's watch Square break that, and then we'll trade it from there and use that as a bottom. So 244. Nice consolidation at 239. We'll be watching Square today, but it's a little rich already for me. I would have loved it down here. I don't think we get that opportunity.
Yeah, nice move already, trying to get back to where we were Friday. As we said, let's go to Robinhood, another one that was still up nicely this morning in the pre-market here, 1.5%. Pretty lackluster IPO last week. I mean, we didn't really fall, we didn't really rally. It's kind of, in the area of where it traded over the past couple of days. You can see right in the middle, basically, of Friday's range. We had this nice little pop about midday on Friday for Robinhood, so it did end on Friday positive, but trying to get back to the upside here once again today.
The thing with Robinhood, we got very, very, I don't want to say impatient, but broke a few rules shorting that one in Friday's action off the morning, because we had this 35 that was like the only, I like 35, I said I like 37 and 38 were the only three things I was going to look at, but 35 managed to bungle a great short here and then revenged it getting in way too early, and then we of course got busted out here when it took 35 once again. We sat it out and waited for a good level at 37, and then that sort of the redemption story for Robinhood. And we sort of talked about it at this one at length when the IPO came out, that it's difficult to imagine, just this valuation for them in the street that has sold it below that 38 level. I'll still go to that 37 if it pops back to the upside. So I'm shorting pops if they get there. But I am also looking, and not necessarily like it's going to be automatic, but 34.70 to 35 even. Like if you were to get just sort of a slide back down and a consolidation, you might have a breakdown. But given how strong it was off the open and how many big spikes came into this, and I know Kathy Wood dipped into it again, apparently, for even more shares. So, I'd much rather, some people are adding to this to be shorting pops if I want to be bearish on Robinhood, as opposed to just getting really, really, sort of aggressive to the short side, because that was a bad way to play it. If you let it come to you and let it make those tops, it was a little bit easier to go, and it's hard for me to like the long.
Yeah, I'm going to, so just looking at me again, I wasn't here on Friday, but look at this drop there. I don't know if that's what Neil was mentioning there. A huge monster drop right early on Friday, guys, from 35 down to 33. So you got the biggest move happened. I mean, that's probably that Kathy Wood talk there, and that's not till 12:30. But nice move up there. So we'll see about the volume. Definitely picked up there midday. So we do know that there are some buyers of Robinhood. Not this guy. I'm a big seller of it. I think this 35.40 level, let's go short if it breaks it, and we'll see if we can have a similar move to Friday, right, where we just crash down. Big move up. To me, if you were here on Friday, I mean, this, shorting into this level here, pretty good until it breaks it, right? So that's 35.20, and then right now we're above that level, so you can have 35.20, maybe has some support. We're gonna go short 40. We'll get out some 20 because we just saw that level there, and here it is here again, these 20s, 35.20 before we broke it, so we'll wait to see that. So you break 35.40, and then we go to the downside. Be lovely to get 34.75 off that short there. That'll be 60, 70 cents, but we'll wait to see how far Hood wants to go down. But again, we have that 37, right? So we can play everything off 37. So we'll just do that. I'm gonna go short 35.40, probably right off the open, and probably will hit. And then I'm not gonna get out until we break 37. So hopefully we can average into this thing. We'll wait out for news on Robinhood. To me, this is a short until it's at zero.
All right, let's talk Chinese stocks once again. Another active day on Friday as far as some of the online retailers are concerned. Alibaba, Baidu, JD.com, all traded higher than normal relative volume. We come in today, though, a little bit different as the Chinese markets in general did bounce back, guys, to start the week on Monday. So nice, 1 to 2% gains right across the board, as we've seen those kind of fall off 4 to 5% per day over the past week or so. I mean, nothing has changed as far as the crackdown, regulatory crackdown is concerned. Still that lingering in the background, but we are starting to see some buying coming in.
Yeah, I mean, I talked a little bit about Bob a bit off the start, so I'm just going to let Sean handle that one for sure, because that 200 level in earnings tomorrow, I think, is a big story after Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been loving Alibaba for a while here. I put on JD on my list today, but we just recently bought Alibaba, and I just think they're just so huge. I'm not even worried. Like, Amazon's still a monster stock. Like, if Alibaba just got treated anywhere like Amazon would, then you wouldn't even be seeing a 3 on this. You'd be seeing much higher than a 3. So we'll wait to see where this goes. Who even knows? I mean, I do know that PricewaterhouseCoopers is their accounting firm, so I know their numbers will be legit and people won't question them. So that's good. We'll see where it goes. I mean, China is obviously, I don't want to say leading the way in the recovery, but apparently everything's all good over there. But I just don't know what you can trust anymore in China. So I'm not. I'm nibbling every time on the way down, and that's what I've been doing forever. So let's just hope that keeps going up. I've been a buyer of Baba all the way down. For last time was at 212 or 213, then again at 180. So I don't like to average in that long, but it is a long-term account, and when there's blood in the streets, hey, let's be that shark and get in there. Okay, so JD, again, if we look at a 20 period, I just can't zoom these back far enough. It just takes too long for me to change them, so let's go over here. This 72 area, I like it for JD. Again, another strong Chinese name that I'm not in, but if we could take this out, we struggled on Friday with 72.20. We struggled a couple days before that in the pre-market at 72.20. Back down here at the 23rd, so you go back a week and a bit, you do have 73, 72, 30, 40, 50, something like that. So if it wants to go, man, I do like JD today better than all of them. Again, e-commerce giant, so we'll take it. We'll look at JD.com here through 72.20, so I really do like that play. And then just to put everybody's mind at ease here, I don't think we. Well, oh yeah, you can't get our watch list. So, but we can go over here. GE. We're just having technical problems.
Yeah.
Keep checking the website. Hopefully that gets updated as our crack website team is on it. So we'll look at this. Look, 700%, and yeah, it's Valeria. Valeria's in the back end. They're coding the website right now. So. Okay, 104, 105 to the upside right there, and we'll see. And GE again, guys, it's 8-for-1 reverse split, so you're not seeing $700 700% here on any sort of a news. I see some people talking about short squeeze. I hope it's just a joke, and if it's not a joke, then I hope you're really not a regular, because yeah, all the way up to 104, 105. Big move upside, guys, for GE today. This is the one day, so just to let you guys know, it went 8-for-1. So that's why when you're looking at this, and if I zoom in, you can see it's actually trading pretty ordinary here. I just want to give that little update to everybody. You know, I'm not going to trade it today, not off the very first day, but we'll watch it. I'm very, very interested in GE. I'm a holder of GE, so we'll see. Moderna, remember Moderna and Pfizer both price hike, right? It looks like. I know Moderna did for sure on some of their vaccines, so look what Moderna is doing today. 364. I mean, in this chart, it just looks so beautiful. It's a little extended here from its 50-period moving average, but with good reason, I think, anyways. It just continues to go up. We did call a little bit of a pullback in here. You had to be quick on it. I didn't even get into any of the puts. You had to have been quick there on that day when we went into the S&P. We pulled back to about 280. That would have been a great opportunity there, and now you're at 360. So Moderna, and then I'm looking at Pfizer here as a way to get in, because it's just, I mean, even Pfizer, one of my top stocks on the list here today. I was like, let's try to get long in the mid 42s. We talked about that with Mark Roberts, but there it is. Pfizer now just upside and continues to go, man, breaking through 44 probably today. I like these names, Brendan.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on our site, guys. Well, again, we apologize for the website not updating as of yet. I'll let you know if we do get an update on that. Both GE and Moderna on the list this morning, though, guys. So again, just keep trying, keep going back and refreshing, and we should get those updated. Let's go to DD Global, another Chinese name, but different catalyst, obviously. Very, very strong out of the gate on Friday, if you remember. If you were watching on Friday, big volume came in instantly, even though it was gapping down. We had a big move higher. Same thing happened late in the day here. You remember, we went from 950 to basically day highs where it closed. We're right back to that point again for DD Global.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, up here, when you talk about those moves from Friday, whether it's breaking out at 940 or it's holding 940 and then breaking out in the afternoon, you know, obviously, if we ever get down there, we're going to be looking at that price for a bit of a long play there for support. But let's have a look at that 1040 top. I mean, you had a cluster of action before, you know, that two-day bottom out move, right? So when it broke 10, you went straight down to that 680 level in a couple of sessions and has been going back up ever since. You have had a parabolic move about halfway up. So, I mean, as much as it went down, it went that much higher. Well, almost as high up there to 1250. Now you're sort of getting some consolidation. And it looks to me like if we get 1240 break here, you do need it to extend that 1065. So if you see me in a long at 1040, it's probably going to be able to scalp out in front of 1065. And then if we can beat that level, then you're looking up to that 1150. Let's just go back over to here. So I do like the breakout style trade for D. I don't love the fact that the volume isn't huge. And if it doesn't work, the only other place I think to buy it is in front of that 940 level, because twice on Friday's action, that was a good one there. So DD going to be back in play. The volume not exactly fantastic, so you know it's not a breakout that I'd want till after 930. And then just one other name here, because the EVK is starting to move here, guys. I know I was in it pre-market. Give you guys a 1 minute chart. Had a couple of nice, that 8 a.m. spike, right? Like you have a stock that gaps up and comes back down. Now they did authorize a $5 million share repurchase program on a company with like a 35 million market cap. If that, I think it's obviously more now. But either way, it's going to be relatively significant. Who knows whether they'll even tap, whether it's going to happen. But we were able to short this one on a pop into 420 to 435, which was this cluster here. It was working pretty well. Got down to 380. Note this 360 bottom, that 365 bottom that it couldn't break. Comes right back into the same price. We dip back into more shares, start scalping it out, and then it couldn't even put in. You know, it's trying to make a lower high here, or it continues to make higher lows. It stops me out at 435, which I mentioned was going to be my out. Now it's all all about this test here at the top, $45 to $5 on EVK. It does set up for a bit of a rollover trade. It is a very small, low float stock here, but looking pretty strong on good volume going into the open. That's why I'm flat on this. I don't believe in averaging into these in that last 5 or 10 minutes going into the open. Usually you're just throwing extra money away. And if it's a good short, you can always get back in.
All right, those of you asking for the sticky note, it's now up. You can go to Instagram. It's up there. Also a cute video of me and the daughter here. Ooh, 950 likes or watches already, not bad. So that's up there as well from Van Gogh. So anyways, at Trader TV Sean, those of you that don't have, you're asking for it. And I deliver, so there it is. It's up here as a story at Instagram. So at Trader TV Sean, there on Instagram. And there's only one, not fakes. Make sure you check out the spelling and everything on that one. We're just talking about DD Global. I know Neil's talking about EVK there. Normally I've been liking the short on DD, but I'm thinking now, I mean, that's still Pfizer, come on. I'm thinking now that, you know, it's down that 1%. We did have that nice move on Friday. This is the daily chart making to the upside there. I don't think it didn't hit 1250 there, but you can see here a nice little movement up there into the close on Friday. Let's see if there's some strength today. I still think that when there's smoke, there's fire. And they talked about buying all their shares back and just taking this thing off market. Considering that they collected all public money at, you know, $16, you know, why not buy it now back at 10 and then bring it back at 16 again a year from now, right? So they could play a lot of these games, and it wouldn't surprise me if they did something like that. So let's just wait to see if they can rob, once again, all of our money, billions and billions of dollars, take this thing private, then bring it back and claim that they've figured everything out with the CCP. So I think that's what's going to wind up, or the PRC. I think that's what eventually what's going to happen with this stock. So I like to look long rather than short. I don't know if I mean, look, these are all shorts here. Great short trade. We talked about that the day before on Thursday when I was here, that's when it was here, and then we wound up killing the short. Out of the downside, we tested the long a bunch. And then on Friday, again, a couple nice moves up, including the one at the end of the day. So let's wait to see what happens, but obviously that 1010 is there, and then you have high sides of 1040 that will probably try to break long through 1040. So I'm going to add DD to the sticky note here, break long through 1040. I don't mind it. Before I go back to Brendan, though, let's just take a quick look. So the imbalance locator today is actually like, I don't know, where's that beating up that emoji if I can find it today? It doesn't, whoa, there it is, doesn't look too impressive. So there's not too much on here for today. So we'll see. I mean, Palantir's on there as a buy. We like that name back to 21, but it doesn't look like it wants to go back to 21 at all. Up that 1.24% today. Pinterest, still one of those beat down names, but looking to get a bottom. That might look good there today. I know that was our trade of the day. And then we do have Pfizer to the high side. This is the only stock that I have bids on right now. I have some low bids on Pfizer. And then, whoa, we've already talked about NEO, but I always want to check out NEO so 45. So we're looking at that 45.20 level. Anything lower we want to bid, so 44 and change. Oh, and I did also want to, I went to somebody's website here, now that I see him sitting there. I got to give a big shout out to Clyde. This is from April, Randy. So I think we need a little bit of a more of a, in-touch picture, because I believe he's a lot bigger than this right now, but sometimes you hear Clyde and some Clyde talk on the show. So at Trader TV Randy, it's Trader TV Live Randy 1, I guess. This is the one you may think is a fake account, but it's not. There's a picture of Clyde there. So I did want to give a big shout out as Randy's already delivering the Timbits. The guy had to go blocks and blocks because today, by the way, what's up to all our Canadian friends and family out there? It's the civic holiday. So hey, Neil,
it's also the first ever celebrated Emancipation Day, which is pretty cool. First time they're actually doing it here in Canada.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But I drove in here, and I'm not going to say how fast I was going because I probably already said it. In record time for me to get downtown, I wasn't speeding. I drive.
How long?
I probably shouldn't say because
how long the time? You don't have to say this.
I didn't time it, but I mean, by 5 minutes I broke a record for myself.
You didn't time it, but by 5 minutes. Okay, so, all right, so it took me 19 minutes to get into work, which is pretty good. I think, Neil, a little bit longer, probably not too much by the sound of the heavy foot there. And the heaviest foot, I'm not going to say who it belongs to, Randy, but thank you so much for the Timbits today. Here we go, guys. On that note, we'll look at some Ford when the market gets open.
A few more minutes to go, guys. Let's take a second, take a look at some chip makers. We had ON Semiconductor out with earnings this morning. Q2 earnings were better than expected. They also raised their full year forecast. So a nice look here, up 10% for ON. AMD, another day to the upside on Friday. That was pretty impressive as well.
Absolutely. Well, I want to get to Dolphin. A couple of people have asked about Dolphin, and yes, absolutely. I just see that. P. Del Toro. Yeah, Canada women's beating the U.S., so playing for the gold medal for the first time, I think. Usually it goes the other way around, so congratulations to them. Dolphin, Brendan already dropped the news there on this particular name. They had already made a big-time 11 top. I can show you the 1-minute chart, but let's go to the daily is going to show you probably the better story here. This had been absolutely barcoding off of like 750, and each spike up was more and more shallow, 1450, and then here at 11, and they've been all sold off. So when I look at that 11, this is like 11 and change, like 1130, 1140, and then it turns at 11 even on a dime, consolidation lower, short the pops kind of idea here. So 1050 is the first level for me. I just got into the short. I'd take more if this pops in at 930, actually have an offer just in case you get that spike up and then a bit of a fade. And I would do the same thing off of 11 even. Usually these NFT names, they tend to be pretty good shorts whenever they make that little bit of a pop. And I also have this XCUR, and apologies because obviously this one is also on our watch list. Like they entered an exclusive agreement for some kind of spherical nucleic acid for Huntington's disease. I mean, I'll show you the chart to give you an idea of why we're sitting in this one. And again, there goes Dolphin to the downside, but XCUR, come on, load. There you go. Basically barcoding after a lower consolidation, which is usually a setup for me. I'm not adding to this one. I think if it goes, I'm looking for about 190 for 195 for a bit more for a short in front of $2, obviously, but this is going nowhere, up 37%. So looking for that rollover. A 180 add would make a little bit of sense on the open, but at this particular time, at 9:26, the only setup I like to adding to a short is if it pops into fresh highs. So that's what I'd be looking for on XCUR.
So Randy, how many pounds now? 160. So 160. So here's Clyde in what, a year and a bit? Almost
20 months.
20 months. So almost so 20 months old here. Clyde is in the building. Well, he's not in the building. Thank God he's not in the building. Okay, someone asking there. So that's an updated picture. Thank you, Randy, for that one. Someone's asking about a Neo dip buy. Yeah, for sure. I want to be buying this on dip. So I did actually just put. Thank you for reminding me. I did actually put it in. Yeah, big congratulations to the women's soccer team. I saw that on Instagram this morning. I think it finished like 6 a.m., something like that, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., our time here. So yeah, great to see. We just need the men's to get going a little bit. The women I don't even know if a men has won a medal yet for Canada, to be honest with you. I mean, it was something like the first 14 medals were all female, and then I sort of stopped paying attention. The female just crushing it right now. Congratulations.
We'll win the decathlon.
To the women. Oh, we did win.
We will win.
We got DeGrasse.
Damian Warner's going to win. He's going to win the gold in the decathlon.
Yeah, and then we got DeGrasse. So there was something there for Canada at least. But again, congratulations. It's so nice to see that. My daughter is like the crazy athlete, so really special for her to watch some of the Olympics as well. But anyways, a Neo dip down here to 44.20, absolutely fantastic. If we can get any love down here, we'll be playing Neo for sure. And then that's it. And then we have, so that's on here. We have a firm we're looking at. Oh, I do like that JD break there. That's a NASDAQ name. A JD break on the top. We will get it might happen fast right off the open. I don't know if I want to take it off the open. It's that 72.20 break, but we'll still put it in. If it gets there, it gets there. We'll do that. We want to go long on Pfizer. We already have that. And then the name that we didn't talk about is Palantir. And again, it's August. I think it's the 13th or the 16th. Palantir earnings coming through in mid-August. So we still have a little while to go. This was their last earnings date. We dipped all the way down, right off open, and then we ripped up. So we were down about 20%, and then we wound up about 20% on that day. Check it out for yourself. It was an incredible move, all the way down to 16.20 off of, I guess the previous close was 18.50. So you go down $2 off 18, so that's 10%, and then you closed all the way up here at $20. So bottom of 16. Close of 20, so that's $4 on 16 on the back. So yeah, more than a 20% move on the way back up on that day. So excited to see what Palantir has to say, but also more excited to see what happens at this 21 level. So we'll see if it can get dipped down into that. That's going to be one that we look at. And then with only a minute and a bit left, let's check the imbalance locator. I know you guys like that. No NASDAQ names on here whatsoever. Except for JAGX on there as well. So that's what we're looking at right now. Not too much on the imbalance locator. Remember, August, as you know, Brendan, is a little bit of a slow month as people chilling out in the Hamptons. What's up?
Yeah, it's holiday time for a lot of people, guys. But keep in mind, we are still here and will be. AgriForce, big mover late in the day on Friday. Remember a little one that went from 3 up to above 4. We're kind of opening below the top end of the range from Friday. So 410, 440 on this AGRI. why 410 seems to be a bit of a sticking point at this point. If we start holding above 410, expect 440 to be taken out. Guys.
And we can already start it. Well, I don't know. We'll hit this one because I don't know which one's on my board, Rob. But anyways, we'll get this figured out. I do have them back. But Dolphin just broke that 960 level. We had the 1007 short. We're going to hang on to this. I'll short the pop if we get a chance to get it here. Just a quick note because I know some of you guys saw that, Robin Hood with a bit of a bounce on very light volume. We got through 36. I'm waiting in front of 37. We like that level. And Tesla also bounced to the downside here. A bit of a pullback. Watch out for dip buys in both Tesla. Let's look at 680 is the ultimate price level. Also 687 on any kind of a dip. Those are the two levels I'll watch it first. But it is time to drop the countdown. If you haven't guessed it, Randy's in the building. I've already had 3 Timbits. Thank you, Randy. 7, 6. He's got this Himmies in the hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ring it, Randy.
We're open, and just so you guys know that Randy can crush that coffee in just a matter of seconds.
Chug it.
So Randy, good job there. We go long on NEO right now, 44.35 off a dip buy, just like we said, guys.
Dolphin went to 930, now coming back up. I'd probably fade that one as well, looking pretty solid. Cassava Science, sorry we didn't get to that one, guys. Sava's up 10%, but remember, it was a $150 stock last week.
Guys, I'm not going to keep apologizing, but there it is again, man. The Rainmaker is in the building right now. Look at NEO. Look what we did. Thank you so much again to everybody in the chat. This is the play. We're already here, baby. We're already on you, NEO. Nice little long take in there, 44.35. Some outs here, 80s, 90s, so on and so forth. Let's go to the upside, man. We're here. I like that one. The Rainmaker already ringing bells, guys. So let's go to the upside on NEO. We've already got Palantir as well.
Yeah, down at 9. We got all the way to 930, so about like 70 pennies in the money here. Gonna add to that XCUR, and talking about DLPN, of course, guys. But do not sleep on Robinhood. It looks like it's coming not way down, but we're fading off pretty big. We thought we'd get a pop at the open that we could short into. Yeah, but Robinhood already starting to come back in. It spiked to 36.40, so I want to play the patience game. Last time we got in too early to the short trade there. Let's let it get back to some of these highs before we jam into this one. Now about 80 pennies in the money on DLPN, of course. That one making a big move. And like I said, Cassava, apologies for not getting to this one. I will show you guys the daily chart. It is breaking back down towards that 65 low. You saw the trade that Arun had, almost at Amar. That's crazy. That Arun had. 70 even would be that lower high it's trying to put in here. Don't put anything past this stock. Go long, but be very, very cautious. I'm looking for a break through 77.50 to 78. I think that was that first spot that Sava put in, and it's pure momentum. This stock is getting absolutely crushed. Like I said, already cut in half once.
Okay, just looking around. So we did take out, so good thing, man. We emptied out a lot of this NEO right now as it is coming back to the downside, but there it is again, man. A nice little long one more time here for us on NEO. So we'll see if it can continue to go to the upside. And then we did take Palantir as well. That's 6 cents in the money, which is not huge, but that's a nice move. 55 to 65. Let's see if that can continue. Here we go, NEO. Do I even have any offers out? I don't even know if we do. We have some, 44.90. I can cancel this 45. 44.90s or so. We're trying to hit the home run here on NIO. So let's see if it can go upside. Big trade here, 30 cents in the money. We're still waiting for it. We could check out Pfizer. Did that dip? I guess it didn't because I'm not long. Pfizer actually not doing anything here off open. So maybe it's not the trade that we want. We'll see if it comes back into 45 or so. Sorry, 43 is where we want that. But I am focused right now on NEO as this one right now, 50 cents in the money and still trying to go. But it's having a problem at the high side here. Let's take one more out at 44.75. That's VWAP, although VWAP not overly important this early, but let's take another piece out and just hold 20% and see if that one can moon.
So I'm not going to look at gift horse in the mouth when you take a breakout trade on something like a Sava. It spikes right through that 77.50 area we talked about almost immediately, and then tries to take it out that 80. It goes to 79.50, turns on a dime. It's like immediately take the $1 trade here. There's no way I'm letting Sava pass 75 as weak as it was before, so I'll dip by once, and then 75 is my out. I can tell you that XCUR came back in the money for us. I took one little leg out of that one, but watch out for Sava. When this thing turned into a short, let's just say it was a short of ages, not like the Rock of Ages, but that EVK as well, guys. That's starting to roll over. We wanted a 930 pop. It never really popped. It's only coming to the downside. 360 big level. If it takes another chance at the high, I will fade off the lower high it's put in right now. That's 460 on EVK. I'll short in front of that. Go Sava, go.
Yeah, let's go Sava. Let's go everything right now. Pinterest, XPEV, NEO, Square. What the hell happened to Square? Yeah, hello. Yeah, I guess if you want to get into Square, see you later, alligator.
Come on.
Up 4%.
Oh my God.
Today, now Square, we talked about it, wanting to get into these 230s, and there it goes up to the upside. Yeah, man, as a holder of Square, it's a chicken dinner winner and a big cowbell right there for anybody holding Square. You missed your opportunity to get in, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you missed an opportunity. And there goes Neo, guys, taking out the top. Look, we're already long. 44.35. We just did take a 20 long, so now we can get out of our 45, and then we'll see where we go now. But there's his right to the high side, man. If that's not a chicken dinner winner, Neil has a bunch on as well today. This is that one dip buy early. We love that, and I talked about it. I wasn't here on Friday, but we talked about why we liked it, and there it goes right through that 45.20, man. Neo with the siren trade of the day. Let's go.
Oh my, it's been fantastic trades, but I'm kicking myself over two things. I mean, one, obviously Square long, not the way I would have expected. But look at a firm. It's like I'm sitting here waiting to short a pop. There's no pop to short on a firm here today. It's just it's right back at 56. So a firm gives everything back up. It gave us no chance to get in. But Sava did give us a chance to reload. We dip bought off 75. We just got more shares out there at 78.50. So at long now is at 76. I'll let this ride, if only because of the risk to reward at these prices, guys. I mean, this thing could get back to 85 before you get to the first obvious level. That's $7 away. Brendo, what's up, bud?
I mentioned some of the semiconductors were moving in the pre-market here on this one, guys. ON Semiconductors beat on earnings, raised their forecast. Nice look here, up 13%. Recent highs coming for ON. It's worth noting the rest, though, kind of weak so far, guys.
Okay, so now we're just ho-hum. We're just 40 cents now into this other trade right now that we have on board. So, yeah, the hits keep coming, guys. Today, 44.30 long on Neo. Okay, it's 45 and change. Hello, Neo, as we continue to go to the upside. This is a $1.20 win here on Neo, and it's still going. This is exactly what we talked about here. Look what we did, guys. Use breaks, buy dips, everything. Neo 45.20. Look where we're at right now. Extending this move to the high side. Probably not a horrible spot to get another piece out. And then we'll see if we can hold for the ultimate high. We'll put out a 70 offer. There it goes. Gets taken out right there at 70. So we're rocking and rolling here with Neo. Thank God. This has been a good day. And you know what? Every day that we're here appears to be a good day. So thank you one more time for watching us. And I hope you're excited today. And I hope you're not disappointed that I'm back. But we're back with a vengeance here today, guys. Let's keep going. Look at Palantir. 17 cents now in the money. Dip buy, dip buy. Nice. Wow, there we go. Continue to go, my friend. Run, my friend, run. As Palantir continues to make moves to the high side. Get out of this one as well. 21-cent winner right here, baby.
Yeah, Sava just broke $80 now, so now about $4 in the money here. But watch out, here comes very, very slowly. Well, I shouldn't say slowly, relatively slowly to the upside because there's bigger ones making moves, and that's going to be Robinhood. It's making a bit of a chance, a take at that 37 level. Unlike Friday, guys, a little bit more patience with me waiting to round into that short position. I will get to that XCUR. When it's a small penny stock like this and you get that 930 sort of failure, I missed the first pop at 930 because you saw some other things were going crazy, and then shorted the next move to the upside. I have taken 78s. And the bottom of these moves here, 178 and 80, that's in front of pre-market lows at 175. I've got bids all the way down just to cover myself, but no need to get out of anything that's sitting in the money right now. Dolphin included, breaking $9 here. I tried to short a pop that never came. I'll try again to short a pop. We'll see if it comes, but 870. This is that move at 8 a.m. when it had a bit of a spike and then bottomed out at 870. Let's see if that's going to be the next support level. Sava just turned off of 80, but that's fine. That's sitting deep in the money. You guys remember, I'm not saying, look, there's no chance that we'll replicate that $20 winner by a room because I think the stock is too weak for that. Tesla, forget the dip. None of these stocks gave you the dip that they wanted. Tesla basically came down $1, not even close to that 787 I like, now through 715. So I'm happy, obviously, in Tesla because we had it a couple times recently, but bye-bye Tesla, that 700 break is finally in tow. I just wish it hadn't made that move in the pre-market. Brendo?
Another one that gave us a pretty good move late in the day on Friday. BTBT, guys. Just check Bitcoin, not really doing much, but crypto-related stock on the move here, 10%. Decent volume for BTBT.
Yeah, crypto not doing too much, and then we're doing some cowbells and chicken winter dinners and everything today as we celebrate one more time here, guys. Look at Hood, a nice little win there, 20 cents or so on the first bit. It just got down to 30. We can have some orders lower here on Hood, so we'll see if that can go. Neo, we're holding very, very small now, like 3% or so of the position, so we'll wait to see where that goes from here. But right now, Neo already got that top. Look at this. Look at this. Bottom wick. Top wick. So some nice outs there on NIO. And now we're holding very, very small just to see where we go from here on NIO. But some bottom wicks and then some top wicks there. So good trading there on NEO. Some good trading on Palantir. We missed that 77 though. I don't know what I was using, what gateway, but we should have got that. So we'll change that up and we'll go back. So far today, guys, Hood, 17 cents in the money. We'll play the spread. It's actually...
I hate to say this.
Not very good. Go ahead, yeah.
I hate to say this, but I mean, Square at 265, like this is, I mean, you look at you go back to the 26 and you look at that 270 level. Like I love this move for Square, but it's hard not to look at a short trade on Square. I just got a firm on a pop. So a firm just bounced back to the upside while Square is sitting at the highs, and those were trading reverse off of each other before. So you will see me probably pop into a Square short off the high here. It's just, at some point, you start looking like a technical move like that, and it's like, let's take a quick little shot at it. I mean, a firm, oddly enough, just popped in the money for me about like 40 pennies, and that could mean that move continues. But you look at that 270, I might take a couple of shots at this because Square absolutely going bonkers. They're loving this, and that 270 is such a ridiculous level. Let's have a quick look at it. I mean, a firm was an easy short, and it looks like it is, but I had to have a piece of the Square. Had to try.
Yeah, loving that Square. I mean, it's nothing but upside there. We did get our Palantir there. Let's check out another idea that we had. I mean, Neo's rocking and rolling. Alibaba's just chilling out here. Put anything you guys want. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day, so we'll hit the sirens for that as well. As we're just rocking and rolling right now, making that money and trying to hold on to a little bit of these trades here for the upside. So we'll wait to see where we go from here. But right now, Baba trying to bounce on to 200. It doesn't look like it wants to do much. And by the way, guys, look at Mr. Hood. What up, Hood? Right now, we'll hit the siren one more time, and we'll drain down some money as well. As right now, tick, 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 to the downside goes Robinhood, man. We are sitting right here at 36.02. Maybe that's a little, I don't know, it's ahead of 36. Let's see if we can hit this, but a nice little win for Robinhood here. 40 cents for Hood, 50 cents for Neo, but Neo really is $1 to change right there. And then Palantir still having some problems. We have a 77 offer, so that's right at the high of the day. We'll see if that can come through, but right now we're liking what we're seeing today and trying to hold on a little bit more. Maybe Hood, we'll trade in the middle here. We'll put one in the teens, see if we take that. We'll cancel our O2s and take a teen print here on Robinhood. I think we might have got a little too greedy, but whatever. Sometimes greed works.
Sometimes greed, as they say, is good. I don't know. It's a famous line from somewhere. I can't seem to put it. You guys know exactly where it comes from, guys. And it's not to be overly bearish on a firm, but we were bearish on a firm. We're all bearish on a firm. Roberts was bearish. I think he was. I mean, I'm just assuming he was. But anyways, you get that pop that finally comes in. I did get that 59.60, so we're very, very patient with it. I scalped one in front of 59. Look, I want to see if I can't rinse and repeat some action shorting this one above VWAP and below that 60 level. Square is now back to flat, but it did try to go to 266. To me, it's hard to imagine being wrong unless 270 breaks. So I might have started this one early, so I can't add to it unless we're talking 67, 68. Miss V is at the big screen. She's got a name for us. What do you have?
Hey Neil, RA Medical Systems is up more than 21%. Could you guys give us a quick review on RMAD stock?
RMAD, eh? Wow, look at Square, 264. Holy crap. I wish we would have been able to get into that. Okay, so I don't know anything about RMAD. I haven't looked at it yet. I haven't traded it. I don't even know what exchange it's on.
I think it's Amex.
Amex, okay, so here we go. Wow, 430 today. I don't know why I say wow to that, other than the fact that it's moving around today. 3.5 million shares. We'll look at this when we get back. What's up, Brendan?
Yeah, I'll zoom in on this GE chart to show you guys we are at day highs. So decent volume here. Push this thing right back up through 105 to 106. So GE moving as well.
Yeah, right now explode some more money, guys, because right now this is just what we're doing today. Maybe I need to take some more vacays today. Look at Robinhood, guys, 80 cents now in the money. And I talked about just loving this short the whole way. So here we go on, that's still RMAD stock. Let's go to Hood. Look at this, man. Shorted the crap out of this thing, and now we're, reaping the dividends on this trade. So a nice little trade here for Hood. Nice trade for Neo as that's still bouncing around. And then that RMED, I don't know. It's not looking anything too spicy for me, but RMED is in play. I'm just trying to watch some of these big winners here for me as well today. Neo and Hood. We'll watch out for Hood at that 34.75 level.
Yeah, I'm going to have a quick look at that RMED, but we will hit this one. And it's not... I'm not overly happy about the idea that my only trade on Square is a short trade, but I just scalped $2 out of it. I'll add on a pot, but RMED getting to the 50 period, just watch out for this thing. Yes, double bottom 3, okay, fine. That's actually pretty solid, but you are getting a spike into what would have been resistance before, had a bit of a breakout as well. So, I kind of look at that parabolic move and say if it's going to turn around, the 50 period is the only level that I think could stand in its way. So 450 could be a bit of a problem. I'll go over to Sava because that's Cassava Sciences. Okay, so this is why when you're sitting like $5 in the money, you always have the 15-minute up to put some perspective in. 85 is a bit of a level. I'm gonna see if we can't get some of this out because 82.50, I'm just sort of sitting in front. It just turned around there. Why am I looking at that gift horse? I'll probably have to pick something in that 81 range. We like the breakout. We like the dip buy. But at some point, I'm likely to short this thing because the short was so good and it was so incredibly weak twice last week, and I didn't capitalize on it. I don't want to give up the ghost on this long trade. It's been a fantastic one, but $5 in the money and starting to stall out shy of that 85. 85 could be a level to short at instead of hold into.
Okay, yeah, trying to find you some new names here. Whoa, Pfizer, Pfizer just keeps on going, gone. Now with Pfizer here, it does go up to 43.75. Wow, that was a big one. We just talked about getting long. We don't actually have any high side levels here for it. It's already near, this 52-week high. 43.80 or so just made today. So that's a name that we can look at on any pullbacks. It has to pull back a little bit further even than this for me to be a little bit excited. So we will look at that name for right now. That is Pfizer coming through. Oh, and then there goes AMC as well. There goes your RMED to the high side. AMC also 38 and change taking out. I talked about this name, AMC, getting those bids down here, 36, 37. So this shouldn't surprise anybody as we see AMC starting to take off a bit today. What's up, Brendo?
Big mover last week, guys. ANVS just popping up here, went from 36 to 39. Volume very light, so be careful with this. Remember, this thing got absolutely destroyed last week on some negative news. So ANVS trying to bounce here a bit.
I remember you ANVS, and look, we just talked about that RMED, and then it's looking like it wants to already take out or try to get to that 450. That was that 50 period. It's not that there's anything more obvious in that. It's just there was a previous level that got broken. Then we had another move into a double top there. Well, I guess technically a triple top at 9 even, and now you're right back at that 450. So I'm not short into this name. I only have short positions on right now. One of them, by the way, Affirm, just came right back. I didn't get a reload. I'm going to have to reload right, or at least close to right now. It's back to that 60 level, but it just touched 60 and made a bit of a turn here, guys. So I kind of want 60s or 70s, 59 60s or 70s if I'm adding to this. I did have 60s the first time through. I don't necessarily want a worse price, but I just missed my shot by a little bit there. I definitely didn't get into Robinhood, but it's interestingly enough, it's holding that pre-market low at 35.40, so it might make another run at the top. So just watch out for that one. Unless it breaks that 35.40 level, it's still in a bit of a bullish trend that can allow you to short pops instead of breakdowns. And of course, I got out of Sava too early, but that's fine. I am looking for a short off that 85 level. Need to see it slow down and turn there first. And yeah, I mean, Square is holding at the high. It's about 22.65. But this thing was trading in the 230s. It's an unbelievable run up. This has everything to do with that top on the 15-minute chart at 270, and nothing against what I think is good news today.
Yeah, I was actually just looking at Square and I noticed you're short there. What do you have a target for you out? Is it the high, or because I'm
adding to it? I got to see it test 270 before I would add to this one. I probably missed a shot to add to it at 267. It's a conversation I had with a room where it's just like we talked about it last week. You really like a level, you take that first consolidation, and now you're stuck because I don't want to be adding to this one at like 66. When really it's the 270, and I should go to the 15-minute chart. There you go. And so you can see, like, this is the 270 we're talking about. Like, this break range here, 263 to 270. You go right in. Each time it's broken it, your parabolic moves up or just retracements in the pre-market. Like, that's your target area entry, and you're not wrong unless 270 breaks. So it's kind of tricky. Like, you don't want to be short at the bottom end here, which is 263. But then, of course, I found myself getting in a bit too early. So my plan here, and one thing Arun and I were talking in the afternoon, is like, if I take a bit out at the bottom end of the range and it spikes back up, I can improve my price. I can then hang on. If it turns into a trend trade to the downside, I can always add that way, which is something that was very effective in Sava last week.
Okay, good. Yeah, because right now I'm looking at this. What is this the high of the day right now? Square 267.57. Yeah, so probably looking to take out a break here. But yeah, I mean, would love to get long into this 263 here. I just can't believe the move. 8% today, Square.
It's nuts.
8% and still making new highs right now. Square continues to go upside. That's the shocker for me today too. I even woke up and told the wife, "Oh man, I can't believe Square. I saw the deal yesterday. Spent all this money and thought the stock would be getting crushed today, but we're right back to all-time highs on SQ. So a good look there. And then another one of my favorites that we trimmed last week that I'm super pleased with continues to be AMD as this continues to shine. You know, NXPI coming out soon as well this week off Mark Roberts' call. But I mean, oh shoot, that's right. We can't really show you the chart because we still have that bad tick. But look at this, what a break. We were waiting for earnings, and man, did we ever get earnings. This is the earnings day right here, down. And I think the earnings day was this day, up to 97. And then, yeah, that is what it was. And then we called the break of 100. The minute we saw this candle here, that break of 100 was pretty easy. And now AMD looking to slow down a little bit here on the daily chart, but still has lots and lots of room to run for sure. There goes NEO now, days high, man. And we just tweeted this out. If you can follow, first of all, I want to give, where's Rob? Rob's over there. I want to give a big shout out to Rob for this. I'm going to put this up. You guys have to watch. This is called Calmest Trader. I think this is really fun to watch if you haven't already. That's why I still have it pinned up there. It's one of my favorite things that we've ever done on the show, and we've done a lot of cool things here. But I call this the bottom Wiccans and the top Wiccans here on NEO, but now that still has time to go. So we go long at 44.30, then we go long again on our sticky note level of 45.20 there, and then cashing it in right now. So some good levels there on NEO, still trying to go. Palantir, just an update. We did get that 77 there. So now we're pretty light on Palantir, only 20% of the position. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outs. We still have 20%. So one of them must have been doubled up there. But now we're going to watch that continue to go. And everything's so far so good, man. And by the way, that was easy. Look at Hood, man. Look at Hood. We shorted this name upside. We still have some on board. Why don't we look to take some out here, man, around this 35.30 area. We'll see about taking some out on Hood, but we're still short on this name. Let's go, Mr. Robin Hood.
And let's go flush XCUR down the toilet here. And apologies for that for the watchers. We tried to get to as many of the names as we could to talk about those levels. We shorted this one. We said wait for 930. We scalped it down into that pre-market low. Remember, it couldn't break the pre-market low. Then wait for the top. 202 was the actual high this pre-market. It gets to 198. I was sitting there, got the offer 198. We're going to get some more out. Still putting in higher lows, but you're kind of condensing here. Lower high for now. If it retests 2, that's the only place I would look to get back into it. Dolphin also making some moves to the downside. Again, this was me waiting for the pop, sitting at 985. This is the pop going to 980. Oddly enough, the same time, the winning time in the 100 meters. There you go, a good number, 980. But it's trying to get to that pre-market level. This is that 870 that if we break this could be headed all the way back into 8 even. 784 is where it was. And I know we're not talking too much about General Electric because of the split. But there are movements worth looking at here, guys. If you go back and look at like your 15-minute chart, just some split adjusted prices here. 108 resistance on GE. If you look at, if you're not split adjusted on your charts, 108 resistance on GE. 102.40 would have been support. Whatever, that's just pre-market lows. But that 108, it turns shy of this at 107.20, guys. But watch out for 108. Just make sure you do that, like do the math. Just multiply by 100, sorry, divide by 8, sorry, and then look at last week's prices if your charts aren't split adjusted like ours.
All right. Looking back, I mean, I want to look at AMC right now for you guys, but it's just not really doing anything. If there's anything you guys want me to look at, oh, JD, yeah, that's a good name. I just saw someone talk about that. JD Flushing. Okay, so that level that we had never got hit there, that 72.20. We will look at that one more time as well. Okay, so 38. So AMC. Let's go. What time is it? 9:52. I don't like to change to a 3-minute yet, but we'll do it right now. It looks like AMC right now. It didn't get as high. Okay, I was wondering why we stopped there. It doesn't seem to be really any reason. We did have some consolidation here at 38.40, so maybe that was why. That was on Thursday, some consolidation, but really nothing in here on Friday. We did tip out right there, I guess, at 38.45, but I don't want to cherry pick too many of these charts. If it's not really like a clean move, then I don't really want to talk too much about it. It doesn't look like it is there. So AMC, I mean, if we can get it back here, fine, 36.37, but it's just bouncing around 38 and change. Really happy to see it hold up, man. 3.5%. All you apes should be pretty happy with that for sure. Okay, let's go over to JD quickly, because that apparently someone just said JD flush. Is that a JD flush? I don't know. So it is coming back to the downside. That's a nice move down to 71.40. Oh yeah, I have a 3-minute chart, so that's why. There's that top, man. We called the tops, at least. We were looking for it to break. It didn't happen. Look at the NASDAQ, man. When we started the show, the NASDAQ was up 0.4%. Now we're down, which is actually incredible that these have held up, man. Like our Palantir has held up. Our NEO, we're just holding this one for fun. This has held up as well, which is kind of surprising. And then Hood making that bottom on that level that we did like, man. We like 35.40 to break. So that did come all the way down. We should have put a bid there and got out. It didn't actually break, so we're waiting for a little bit lower. We didn't put any market on open orders or anything in here because, again, I wasn't sure on the liquidity where we would be here on Robinhood, so we didn't take that 34.40 break, but it's there, and we should have put a bid there. So let's think about that. Maybe 35.20. Let's put a bid 35.20 and see if we could take $1.30 on Robinhood. That's where I'm going to put the bid. 35.20 for a $1.30 win on Robinhood if we're lucky enough to get that. Not sure.
Yeah, and that RMED just halted. Volatility halt to the upside. If it's 5 minutes, we're talking about a couple of minutes here until we reopen here. Actually, 3 minutes till we reopen. Right at 485. It did break that 450 level. I kind of kicked myself because probably should have had a 450 break, Neil. You mentioned 450 twice. That 50 period is going to go through. Now, having not gotten the halt trade to the upside and not having obvious levels to work off of, look, you can go to the daily and maybe like a 560, but there's nothing more stepping in front of, so I'd only play a reopen trade. If anything, first I'm going to pay for my locates, which are less than 1 cent a share. That's a pretty solid price, less than a cent a share. So I'm basically going to look at 5 or 550 just in case you get a quick rollover. Otherwise, it almost needs to open lower. It looks pretty bullish on the chart here in RMED. And then watch out Affirm. RMED will open in a couple of minutes and we'll get to it for sure, but watch out Affirm trying to get back towards those highs. And 61 is the absolute top here. We're kicking ourselves for not having the original short. We scalp some out. We get back in front of 60, and now we're testing. There we go. Pre-market highs at 61.50. If it gets through there, Square is a couple of dollars in the money. I kind of felt like they were going to go opposite from each other, yet both set up for these shorts, and I'll basically be washing. If we break 61.50 and then Square works out, it'll be like winning a loss, and I'll be flat on the overall trades, but not over just yet. Brendo?
Clear Secure, guys, software name. YOU is the ticker here, just popping up in New York, or trades in New York. 56 was the high there, just above 56. We got above that high, though. This is a recent addition. If I zoom in on the daily chart here, the IPO high around 54, so big volume on Clear Secure. Wells Fargo initiating coverage on this one today.
Clear Secure. Okay. Yeah, not super familiar with that name, but we will look at that in a second. And I did put that bid on Hood. So just so you guys know, that is where I'm bidding now, 35.30 or so, 35.20, sorry, on Robinhood. Palantir starting to finally go back. It's taking out new day highs right now. So obviously we like what we're seeing here from PLTR. Let's see, I still have it. So we'll see if we could take out this 21.80. We're long at 21.50. And again, we've talked about this over and over again. And I gave a shout out to someone last week who talked about Palantir trading off the quarters. And I was like, yes! Because the message is getting through, and the message is just Palantir forever as it continues to be nice bids off 50s, 25s, 75s, things like that. So now this is a big monster win for us as Palantir continues to ring the register for us here. A nice little 29-cent win. So this is what we have on board, man. 29 cents on this, 45 cents on NEO, 70 cents on Hood, and we're just watching some of these other names as XOM's been a good short for us. Oil finally, after 8 straight positive months, they finally retrace a bit there in August. Its first negative month, so we'll watch out for oil. And I do like, remember, this is a 3-minute chart. I do like XOM pulling back here on the daily. We've talked about getting puts. We still have them. We put them on when it was like 62, 63. They're for longer term, so they're in the fall, and I'm waiting for 50. So let's see how far XOM can go down. But so far, so good on that name, guys.
Yeah, and we're about 30 seconds away, maybe even less than that, if it's a 5-minute reopen on RMED. But Affirm goes, I think it's this key. Is this the right one? Yeah, it is. So Firm goes through the top. I thought that'd be a weak name going in today. Of course, it just broke the high of the day, so we'll take the hit on a Firm. I still think, I don't know, I'll probably go back to the short in that stock just because I do believe in it. And guess maybe it is a 5-minute. Okay, we should be seconds away from opening, and RMED did pay for those shorts, but it's a very, very bullish name. Be careful. Lower float names like this could always reopen and then have a quick little halt, but below that $5 range is about all you can look for. $5.50, a mild level here, and immediately it's already testing at it. If it gets below the halt price, it could be a nice entry for short position, but it just bounced once off there, and I'm not rushing into this trade to the south side. By the way, guys, it has to set up below that 485 or a test off of that 550, neither of which is currently happening, but RMED back open. Looks like there's a little bit of liquidity at these prices.
And guys, I want to give a big shout out to Jim here. I see what you're doing. Best breakfast combo to start your trading day. Sean sticky note with a sticky bun. So I'm going to give a good idea. I think that works right there. Sticky buns, very, very popular. We love them sticky buns. And then just to talk about this, guys, here's a Firm. Should be up more than 8%, which is embarrassing because we should have taken it then. I'm sitting here looking for trading ideas, and now Firm should be up more. And yeah, there it is, man. Up 9.5%. So today, one more time, guys, sticky note reigns supreme. Neo long, this should be higher. This needs to come down hood. We're short that. JD bounces off that. We love that support on Pfizer. Unable to get in. Get long Palantir. So, I mean, look. There's the sticky note today. We'll put the link up here in the chat. I know Valeria's been doing it. Our site is down, so hopefully you guys are able to check out that sticky note for some more ideas, as it's a very, very popular thing. So hopefully you guys will be able to see that today. That is the sticky note. PayPal, funny off to Square news, PayPal really not doing a whole hell of a lot. I believe PayPal, it's not up 9%. Let's go adjust. There it is. So this is, again, a 3-minute chart. PayPal kind of just barcoding, looking to take out these bottoms. 274 and change right now for PYPL. So watch out for that one coming to the downside maybe now on that break. 274 looking like a decent spot to break out here on PayPal, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're back below that whole price on RMED. That was maybe it was about 480 or so. Looking like it's a little bit weak here. Gonna hang on to XCUR and of course Square and Dolphin still in the money, but want to get into this RMED if we can get a quick little chance there. Just of course we had just got those pay for shorts. It didn't go to 550, but it did fail through that halt price, which is the other way we like to get into it. I needed to pop just a little bit and even test this 485 area one more time, just so we can be able to get in. There's no way that I want to give it too much room. To me, giving it to the high of the day is reasonable. Giving it to 550 is absolutely crazy. I can tell you Square is starting to stabilize a little bit. Whoops, that's on New York. They're starting to stabilize a little bit. Yes, we're able to wait at least to get the rest of our shares in closer to 270. And it looked like we're about to be able to get some out on the road to VWAP, and then we can rinse and repeat. But now it looks like it's going to make another run at that 270 price. If it rolls over from here, I'm not really moving any bids in. And if it ever broke 260, I mean, I kind of feel like you're not going to get too much further than a 255. I do believe they should be trading up. I mean, not this much on this news, but either way, the market is absolutely loving this deal. And you guys are going to Brennan. It's already 10 o'clock and time for Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Just watch the overall market here. There are a couple of numbers just coming out. ISM manufacturing looks to be kind of in line to slightly lower than expected. I'll touch on those coming up in a second here. But here we go. Positive territory right across the board here. 0.4 for the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ still hanging on to slight gains here. 0.38. 0.21 for the NASDAQ composite in the 100. It's the Dow, though, that is leading so far. I also noted that the Russell, very, very strong, guys, just straight to the upside for small caps so far. 1.2% here in Toronto. The market's closed, so we don't even have to talk about it. Let's talk about a few things we were looking at in the pre-market. DD Global was one of those. Yeah, selling pressure continues. 1020 from the pre-market there ends up being resistance. 970, 975, a little bit of buying came in, but volume a bit of an issue so far for DD, still down 3% at this point. And then the other one I wanted to mention, Moderna, trying to test 350 was support if you go back to the end of the week last week. Guys, back over to you.
All right, yeah, we were looking at Moderna and at Pfizer as well today, trying to find our way into some of these names. But right now, man, let's just go disco ball because we're back. We've got the energy. The energy's here. Look at Palantir, guys. 22 right now. This is a 50-cent win as Palantir continues to bust out to the high side. So, hey, great win here on PLTR for me. I'm really happy with that one. And then NEO continues its march higher as well here, busting through some key levels anyways of NEO through 45. Now through 46, continuing to go. We have this bottom here at 44.30. Hopefully I still don't have this on. We have a different trade on here as I put to the 1 minute. And again, we talked about it all the time. Please, please, please. And it doesn't matter. I don't get paid anything for Twitter. Nothing. It's free. It's free content, guys. Right here. NEO was the very top one. 45.20 break. Then we talked about it in the pre-market. Where did we like this trade? We liked it on any dips back to 44. So, hey, we put a bid right here, man. 44.35. Thank you very much. Come again. All the way back to the upside, man. Beautiful trade right there. Happy as hell with this NEO trade as it just continues to go upside right now. And Square, I know Neil has that one. So I'm just looking at my board. Like, these are the names that are just moving around right now. What about Wish as well? I wish we had this one long at $8, but right now it's up to 10.40. We were shorting this thing like crazy when it was back near $12. Obviously, my daily chart won't work, so we'll get that in a second. But there's Wish, a nice break. And I got to have a 3 minute. I got to have multiple charts up on this station because I can't keep going back. I got to go to the 3 minute. There's Wish taking out that 10.10 mark from Friday and now moving to the high side, 10.50. We'll take a quicker look at this when we get back. But right now, Wish motoring, guys.
And there's a halt to the upside on that EVK. So we shorted that in the pre-market. It got down to that 380. We did short it at like 420 to 380. We shorted it again at 420. Only go able to get fours out and then break even. Not really a break even stop, but making what we lost back there. Making what we made and then losing the rest there. So the first short good. Halt is right at pretty much that high of the day. So it really is still testing 5 even. Again, if this doesn't break 5, you saw me, I'm actually in that RMED, 467. That halt price was 45, so relatively tight stop there. That's headed back to the downside. And I would play the same idea here with EVK. And we'll just watch out. I mean, liquidity was really, really good going into this halt and then absolutely dried up. If you go to the daily chart, there is a bit of a level. And the last time it spiked, it then put in a lower high at like 515, 517. That's where I'd look. So I'm looking at like 525, 535. Below that price, unless we break there, I'm only going to be looking for a short off this reopen, which should be in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, we're watching Ethereum here. I'm trying to get into some of these names like Ether, ETHE, and things like that. Ethereum just ripping right now. We can call it up. I mean, is this a rip? I don't know if this is a rip right now, but a 5 minute chart taking out 2,600 right now goes ETH. So a nice high side move here. We'll see if it's over with now. Not sure where it's going to go, but right now Ethereum on a nice little move to the high side. 26 just took out 2,600 there. So look out if you guys are trading Ethereum. Seems like it wants to motor a little bit here anyways. Hood, we just got into JD there as JD looks like it wants to take out the top. So there it goes, man, 72.23. We are now in to JD as it's taking out the top there. We like this. We should have bought it when it was down a little bit lower, but we'll take that breakout. We talked about why we like it. So a new position alert right now with JD, hopefully going to the upside. 5 cents in the money. We're long at 23s right now. Let's see if we can get this into the 50s or so. But JD, it hasn't been here in a while. Obviously getting beat down off some of those Chinese names, but here it is right off the watch list. Let's take a dime and then we'll see how far the rest can go on this name.
So RMED breaking that 450. We'll go to the bear side on that one. And I did get into that EVK off reopen. Look, it tests through 5. We talked about that 520 to 525 level. So jam the short here. Got 490s into the short side. Look, I'm not going to look too much of a gift horse in the mouth. I should probably take some out of the 460s if we can get it. So pop a bid down at 465. RMED has a refresher around 450 coming back and forth, but that just got broken. So heading to the south side is both RMED, at least for now, EVK. Like I said, when you get that halt up after it was a sell-off, and then it doesn't really definitively break the high, my first look is going to be short. You never know what can happen, and then I'll go to XCUR. That was the other one. Just watch what happens every single time it gets to this barcode area at 180. It spikes up and gives you that 2, but it cannot seem to get past a 180. That's a good return, so you can get that 10%. But you really only want to short off that high of the day, which is 202. So I wouldn't want to get caught too far away from that 2 with a short, just because that 180 looks like it's holding pretty nicely there. Still in the money, but you have to have at least a little bit of concern when one of these is putting in higher lows. At any point, there could be a volume spike. This is RMED, by the way. This one's starting to fade off. This is what I want EVK to do, although that's now retesting that 5 level.
Okay, so we did take out some JD here, so we'll see if it can continue to go even higher than where we are right now. We took it out for that dime or so, as now you're starting to rip a little bit higher here for JD. So this should be it stopped. Okay, it only went as high there as 37. So we'll have to wait for it. I mean, this is just one of those trades where, you know, it's built out pretty good. If if it comes back down here, 71.70. That would be a decent hit. So 71.70, where were we long at? 72.23, so 50 cents. So we're gonna hold the rest at least for 50 cents. We always take out a little bit, cover some of the fees, pay ourselves a little bit there. So we'll take it out for a dime, and then we'll wait to see where it goes to the upside right now on JD. So we still have this kind of target in here, 71.70, like kind of back to VWAP in this sort of area. So that's where we'll take it as a loss. And then Palantir's coming back in. So Palantir, it does go as high as 22.20. Like I said, I mean, this was a good trade for us. We'll always try to take this. And then if it breaks back down below 22, we're gonna get out. So look at the NASDAQ starting to fade out a little bit here, trying to go back to day's low maybe. So again, bouncing off that 15,000 here goes NASDAQ. I guess you can't see that, so I'll have to move this up. NASDAQ, watch out for this 14.8, 14.9, and then up to 15 again. So we're gonna watch out for NASDAQ right here, trying to make lows again, so that's not gonna be good for Palantir. So if we break through 22, we'll get out, and then we'll put in our pocket 50 cents on this $20 name, and very, very calm trading, right? Something that you guys can all do. This never really went against us at all, so this was a nice, easy trade. Unlike what I feel like JD's gonna be, we're gonna have to wait on this one, man. This one, we're gonna need the NASDAQ to continue to go upside on that. And yeah, nothing but love for some of these Chinese names, as I just hope that they're getting through it. We do have Alibaba, we talked about that earlier, at that 200 level. Oh, there it is, breaking through. So they're gonna come with earnings, and we recently bought this at 183 on the dip down into here. Could have got a lot lower, so, but we didn't. So 183, now we'll see if it's gonna take this out. Next up for Alibaba, let's see if we get back to 210 or so on earnings, which comes, I believe it's tomorrow or the next day, but Alibaba's still to come.
Yeah, and between EVK and RMED, you can clearly see, I mean, EVK much stronger. It's holding it flat. RMED did that rollover where couldn't even get shares near the top. It's trying to bounce off VWAP, but for now, the one for concern is EVK, even though it's only flat for me. Dolphin is still hanging out at the low. Dolphin is still sort of hanging out at those lows, trying to break. Remember the level we talked about? We said look for this dip that it had in the pre-market before making that secondary push at 870. Well, there's your low right there at 870. So we hadn't been able to get any pop. We talked about just barely missing that 985. I can go ahead and cancel that order. I wouldn't want it if it got back to that price or back up to that 1035 at this particular point. It either breaks 870 or I'm looking for a short off of 950 at VWAP. So that's the look on Dolphin. And before we go to Brennan, Cassava Sciences is starting to come back to the downside here, guys. Watch out. You do have this level here at 77.50. If this breaks, we could be looking at shorts again in Sava. It was a decent long. It was a good long, obviously, 75, taking it to 81. But when this thing fell last week, you saw it had no bottom, or almost no bottom. And if it rolls over at 77, that could be the same thing today. Brendo?
Take-Two Interactive. We talked about this on Friday, if you remember. Very, very strong on Friday from 169. Basically closed at day highs, guys. Nice day overall. Credit Suisse today increasing their price target. Earnings after market tonight, guys, for TTWO.
Okay, Take-Two. I'm just looking right here and trying. Oh, did we get long AMD? No, we missed the long. Oh no, AMD breaks through 107. I thought we put a bid in there to get long, but hey man, the best, this just keeps on working, man. We talked about this, and I actually was a little bit saying to myself, like, remember when we broke through 95 and then we were like 97, we closed there, and I was like, the next offer, this thing's 120. Like, that was kind of a joke, but honestly, like, the moves that this name has had just in the last week alone is nuts, man. Like, AMD, what a great bid that was, getting long in the 60s there. Even long 85, like, you could have had long 85s. I don't know if this was Intel earning day. It was somewhere in here, mid-July, makes sense. So, long in here, again, right? Back to the downside, down to 84, 85. We had Mark Roberts on that day, and we talked about AMD, NVIDIA. NXPI is coming. That's one of his plays, so we'll watch that as well. Let's check out NXPI, but look at AMD. Shoot, there's my order. It went out, man. I only crossed up 5 cents. So on a 107 break, I crossed it up 4 cents to 107.05. So it needs to see the 107.01 and then 3 pennies higher. But this one doesn't care about what I want, as it just rips cities itself all the way to the upside. We'll check out NXPI here, and then I do want to check out Intel as well. 210 in change now. NXPI looking very, very similar, I believe. Yeah. So a nice little bottom there off that same. And I think this, we can go back and check, but it was probably July 18th or 19th into Intel earnings. A lot of people went over to picked up some different names, all the way to the upside, 214. Let's just check out back on Intel. I think it's probably a decent value, maybe not even yet, a decent value play here for Intel. But yeah, so there it is. It's still trying to claw back. Wow, it got as low as 52, eh? That's a decent spot down there. Wow. I talked about rotating out of AMD and into some Intel. Glad we didn't get out. We only got out of 25% of our AMD, so we're still in to that one. Big man, what up?
Just watching some of these ride-sharing companies, guys, Uber and Lyft, not really doing a heck of a lot here for Uber anyways, 1.5%, but 44 seems to be a little bit of support. Just reading this story, this Revel company launching an all-electric fleet and an all-Tesla fleet of ride-sharing cars in New York City. So this is Manhattan specifically. They're going to start with 50 custom-painted Teslas, and those will be driven, guys, by employees, not self-employed contractors, similar to Uber and Lyft. But worth a note as far as Uber and Lyft are concerned.
I like that. Interesting news there. Thank you a lot, Brendan. That EVK, guys, crazy, crazy mover. We did say that was looking a little bit stronger, of course, than our man, which, by the way, got another leg out of the short side on that trade. But we took the break, waited for 550. We got out, of course, when it took out this recent high. And then we waited for 550. Said I like that level a heck of a lot better. If it gets back below 520, it just turned. It went right to 560. Like saw an offer there and then basically turn right around that 60 level. So potential still breakout if it can hold this 520 level. And there's not a heck of a lot. I mean, why it's worth, I think, worth the shot is after above here, there's not a heck of a lot to the top. I mean, there's effectively nothing. But if it turns around, this 550 break was a line in the sand that I liked. It could turn around and get back below that 495. The halt price is always going to be a key for me. Not a lot of levels in between, so I like the shot at the breakout long. We were shorting it earlier in the session. In the pre-market, it was good. But now we're looking to see if this one can break back into the upside here on EVK. Like I said, still holding Dolphin, but Armed was of the two, the immediate weaker one. It did get down to that 425 level, so it does put in that big retracement. I didn't quite get fives. I got that 470 into the short. Next level down will be in front of 390, so call it 4 even on Armed. Gets to that price, I'll be out of that one. Sort of done with that play. It's now on to EVK.
Guys, like, look, I mean, AMD taking out that level, like, you want to talk about kind of like free money right there. That 107, like, we just missed that. Look at it just ripping. Like, this is unbelievable stock. Congratulations, anybody in this, AMD. And Brendan, I know, first of all, I'm going to ask Brendan, did you sell some of this thing or what?
I still have a little bit.
Okay,
but
good.
Mostly
Yeah, okay. So, damn it. I wish we did. I mean, I wish we both didn't because it's higher right now at all-time highs of AMD. I did get some out at 104.75. We tweeted that out, and then we got some out at 98 or something on that earnings day because in case we didn't break 100. But now you're way up and just rocking and rolling. The best stock just keeps on getting bigger and better there. I could talk about Square, but Neil has it. He'll probably do that in a minute. Let's just check out PayPal quickly here. It does break that 274 level. It only goes down to 273.50. We didn't take it there. I mean, I'm more of a bull here, just watching the NASDAQ start to come back to the upside now as NEO back to day's high. You know, that's 85 cents in the money. And off the bottom, man, this is $2 winner for NIO. So if you were there, thank you for that. In the pre-market, you guys talking about NEO a little bit weak there. And would I buy some dips? And I was like, hell yeah, on that one. And then this is holding up pretty good right now. That's Palantir starting to go. Like, I wish we talked about GE a little bit here. It's probably too expensive for a lot of you today, and you're nervous about trading it, as I am, so I don't think there's anything wrong with being a little bit nervous. It's on its first day here. It's not that it's up 700%. It's that it's its first day from reverse split. So that's why a little nerve-wracking. Like to see it gain some levels. Like, I don't know, like what's a decent stop? I'd have to just, reverse engineer the math here. So I don't know really decent levels for GE, but again, big mover today. On a reverse split, 8-1, it's only up 700%, right? So we got to take care of that. And also, I noticed Ford moving around, but I got to go back to Brendan.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that, guys. There are a couple of comments coming out here. Looks like from the CFO, talking about production losses in the second quarter, basically due to the chip shortage and shutdowns, production shutdowns because of the chip shortage. So just a heads up, yeah, it looks like Q3 strong. I'll keep reading through this. It looks mostly because of the chip shortage, though. They're talking about some of the delays and shutdowns as far as production is concerned for Ford.
Yeah, and at the same time, GM also moving on basically the same chart. I mean, you can those basically go hand in hand at this particular point. I mean, unless Square breaks, someone asked, it's like, what's the plan with Square? I mean, it's the same as it was before. It's now barcoding off the top. Did we have a chance to maybe take some 262s out, and that's why I would gravitate back towards it? Yeah. I should have been rinsing and repeating. And I did mention that I was probably a little bit early to that short because I was so anxious when it popped up, and I thought we had a lower consolidation at 65. But really, when the level is 70, if you just wait for only that 70 trade, we would have been sitting pretty and probably scalping the $4 or $5. It is what it is. 270 is the only reason we shorted this level. I can tell you that EVK, which was looking strong, and let's forget about RMED because that one's going to be nicely in the money, and forget about Dolphin. But EVK tried 3 times now to hold this 520 level. The second one would seem like a good spot to get more shares into the long side, but now it looks like it's going to take this out and roll over. So it looked like it was the stronger of the two, but this is a level it has to hold. There's been a refresher at 525. I'm giving it to 520, a little bit deeper of a pullback here, just sort of where this breakout started towards 550. So if it can go, take out this high, I'll take some in front of 75s. I will always take some out in front of 6 even as well. And once it gets through 6, I would watch out for a halt. If it halts, at that point, if I've taken profit, I can hold through the halt. If I've taken no profit, I always get some out in front of the halt. But I think it's going to break that 520 because that refresher at 25, it looks like they're bucking and might have to give this one up.
Yeah, so that EVK short off that halt there, but now, I mean, Neil just talked about it, so I do want to try to find some halt names as well to trade for you guys, but let's go over to Virgin Galactic. It looks like this one's been already near its lows and probably wants to make that low around that 28, 29. You could see here on a daily chart, I was hoping for a little bit lower to get long, like into this sort of gap spot there, like 22, 23, something like that. We did dip down low. I mean, in order to say like, oh, I'm going to get long 28, like you sort of got to put a bid there and you probably get run over. But right now, Space looking, you know, I like this name, like $34. Again, you know, it's just a play for the future. They have nothing going on for them right now as far as revenues, but they are going to get those bookings. You know, they have some stuff there. So Space is obviously a play for the future, needless to say, hence the name. But we'll wait to see there. $34 on a little bit of a break might be something. I did want to wait for Ford, but I'm going to start a position here. So we did start a position here at 13s. Is that what I have, or do I have 12s? I have 13s right now, so you can get it as well. It's printing the bid. We're going to try to see if this can go back to 14. So I don't want it to. I'm long 13, but it's a very, very small position. I have some bigger bids waiting in the weeds here. So if Ford can come down, we'll see about it protecting this 14 where we opened and then just ripped up. So not great news, but hey, that semiconductor shortage should not be news to anybody. So that's why right now I'm not super worried about it, but hey, it's negative news. Ford had a big move earlier. We do want to average into this one. Without any more time, let's go over to Brendan, who crushed some of these small cap names. He may be modest. Let's go, Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, let's jump back into a few of these names we were talking about in the pre-market. Was mentioning this AgriForce, AGRI, up again this morning after this move we saw back on Friday. 410 was this high, and it was struggling here in the pre-market. That was kind of my first indication as to this thing being weak overall. It did give you a really nice test right at the open of that 4 to 410 area. That was a great opportunity to add all the way down to 350 now. Above that 410 was 440 on AGRI, but still up 10%. Still lots of room to go, but volume dying off a little bit. That doesn't seem to be working, Lucas, unfortunately. Yeah, so there were a couple other ones, guys, that AUTL, I'll show you the other one in a second, but AUTL dying off as far as volume is concerned already, so careful with that one. But another one that was a great fade so far today, guys.
Usually it's coming out of Brendan into winners, but Square breaks 270. That was my only out. The only reason I shorted was at 270 level, so that'll be a hit. Affirm and Square, oddly enough, are going to be the two losers on the day for me. Although it's hard to hate on Square because that was good news for them, not necessarily the best for PayPal. I do think, anyways. EVK, we talked about 520 being the out. Quick reversal off of this level here. If it couldn't hold that, I was going to be bearish. And then it also broke the halt price. I did get some out in front of the halt price because I'm always going to do that. And then if it gets down to VWAP, I'll get another leg out. Otherwise, I'm holding through. Previous pre-market high was at 465 level. It sits right here. I do want to hang on to a third 465 to break and maybe test that 380. So EVK, you get that nice reversal. XCUR just continues to flush down. I don't know if Brendan probably didn't mention this one. It just broke again. And then this has been me. Like I sat at 178 before. I'll zoom back out. I sat at 178 before. I'm sitting at 178 again, and it bounces off this level back into VWAP. This is like one time off of 2. It's never given another shot off of that $2 range. So still sitting in the 3 that have been the, I guess, the easier small cap shorts. But there is another one. And I said I would be very, very patient with the firm. We tried it once off of 60. Should have only tried it the one time and then waited for the high of the day. That got broken. And now it's barely broken that previous pre-market top at 61.50. Put in a lower high and is barcoding. So a firm could be the one to roll over. And if I got top wick on Square, someone asked me reversing long. I go, hell no. I'm not chasing a parabolic long when the stock was up basically 10%. If you go from Friday to that high, it's essentially, well, it's not really. It's like very, very close to 10%. That's too much to chase it when they're doing a cash deal. Sorry, an all-stock deal. If it had gone down and we absolutely love that stock, it only went to the upside. I've never really seen that kind of price action in an all-stock deal that's that big. So good for Square. The market obviously loves that deal. We agree.
Okay. Yeah, the Square loves, I can't believe it. I mean, I talked about that with Mark Roberts. And again, on here, we talked about it early. We said about buying Square and buying a firm. So both names up, did not expect those moves. So I think the short was a great play. What are you supposed to do when it doesn't act properly? And that's the stock market. And what we've done already right now is we're trying to continue our love affair with the market here because one more time, JD, man, we buy it at 7, it dips below 72. We actually just market buy. I mean, I thought, I wish we would have got low 90s there, but then we take that long again and then we get another piece out. So now you're starting to see some moves here for JD. We just took some out at 10. So these are both wins right now. You can see the average price. It's actually that last one was a 3-cent loss because the average price was 13 and we got out some at 10. So I'm just now trying to sort of lick wounds on this name, guys. JD doesn't want to go. We did take the long there. This was another name that was on our sticky note. I like it from some of the BABA plays there. Let's check out BABA. Is that fading off 200? Probably is. Still up here. So it looks like JD, BABA would have been the better play. For some reason, I'm always on BABA. And I got to give a shout out to Shakib because he's been buying some of these Chinese dips with me. And I'm always on BABA every day. And for some reason today, I just thought the chart of JD looked a little bit better. Wait a second, 1.55%. BABA's up. Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, okay. I thought they were up the same there. And I was like, no. Alibaba. So again, maybe this is good for JD, guys. Alibaba up that percent higher right now than JD. But again, JD has this staring it in the face. So I got to get out if we break below. And it'll be a small hit. It'll be 40-cent hit. So whatever, it's reasonable. It's not something I want to take, but it's a reasonable trade for me. So we'll wait for that. It looks like it's coming back in. I thought the average in would have been gold there, but it doesn't look like it wants to happen. And then right now, NEO's just kind of chilling out at the top. I think we've done pretty darn good on this one, taking the bottom and then taking the top there. And now it's even higher. So I'm going to look at this as a breaking spot here for NEO, 46. So we break below 46. Let's get out of this one. I don't need to be in all these Chinese names, especially if the NASDAQ comes down.
Yeah, you do have to watch out. And look, I think the rollover is starting to happen on the firm. Just got more shares of that EVK as it tested back to the upside. But just going back to the patience play over in a firm, it just held this lower high and then made a bit of a flush. I thought we were going sideways here and might have been able to catch a breakdown at 61.20, but might have missed that opportunity. If we get back in, just go barcoding off of 61.20, I want to short that price off of the high, get some out in front of the 60.60, get some out in front of that 60 level, and then trying to hold fort the rest of the way to the downside. I saw some people asking about that INFI from last week. It's a bit of a volume spike. That's not a huge move. I know it's up 25%. Most of that was a gap up, and it is continuing. I just kind of remember this from spike to the downside that we had in Finney last week, and right back up. Now, I don't see any news on it, so I'll quickly see make sure there isn't actually any news. But watch out for this 280 and, of course, $3, the bigger line in the sand here for INFI. Just not one that was on my radar. Bit of a volume spike. It is testing last week's top here at 270, but I'd look much closer at that 280 level and 3 even. I think those are the bigger ones, guys.
Okay, same type of stuff here for me, man. I'm just chilling out, waiting as JD now. I mean, if this can go, guys, and we can somehow be perfect today, that'd be fantastic. I mean, I hate taking time off, but if we can come back with a perfect day, then we're super happy with that one. As right now, JD goes up to 72.19, guys. Today, wow, I mean, perfect pending Ford. We just got into Ford. Hood comes all the way back, man. This is why, like, you know, you get out. I should have identified. I did identify that 35.30, but that was way too late. And it's funny because that's exactly what we have on here. 35.40 was the level, and I let it come all the way down and didn't do anything about it. So now Hood comes all the way back, but that's still a positive trade. If JD can go, which it's freaking going right now, man. It's not Weed Batman in the building, but somebody's in the building here with JD, as we'll see if we can get that out now for a nice little win there for that. I don't even know if I have any orders out. I had one out at 49. That was a little too high. It goes to 32 there. Wow. And then, so that's another trade. Another trade we have on right now is Neo. That's still waiting to come out if we break through 46. And that's taking out the day's high. So that's a big runner for us. And then another one, man, Palantir. This is probably one of the best trades here, right here. Long at 21.55. Out. We hold 10% there, 10% there. That's a good out. So far today, man, knock on wood. Not a gift horse. We're knocking on that wood to see if we can continue. Yeah, who knows? You know, fake wood we call it. We'll find out exactly what kind of wood this is. But knocking on that here today for a nice day so far. So far so good here. Let's see if we can continue it, guys. What's up, Brendan?
Another couple of comments here, guys. Just if you're watching Ford, heads up, it's the Barclays conference. So Barclays conference on right now is where the CFO of Ford is currently speaking. He's talking about significant, still, pent-up demand for the F-150. They also said this shortage or production reduction because of a chip shortage will linger into June of 2022. So there was actually a pop back to the upside when they said lots of people still like the F-150 as expected, guys.
Yeah, I mean, they turn like two-thirds of their, usually they turn like two-thirds of their reservations, which are only $100 to get a reservation. But anyways, into actual sales, so that's a good sign for them. At the end of the day, you're kind of at the mercy of some of those headlines when it comes to the shortages. But if you're playing it long term, I mean, I don't think it's too much of a concern, guys. If you're talking about a 5-year time horizon, then the shortages have given you opportunities, in my estimation. EVK is still trying to break this 465. Like I said, takes them out in front of 5, which I did when I reloaded. And then I had this bid at that 480, which, of course, was that previous pre-market high. Next step down, hold for 465 break. I think it gets to $4 if it gets there. But there was the breakout at 420, so you'll see me get some shares out at 420 because that's where we like to do things. One stock that we haven't traded today, I mean, of course, it's going to be Tesla. Someone's like, why didn't you short Tesla at 700? And I mentioned this. Well, if you guys were watching the show last week, you know, we had a great day, obviously, on Friday, but the one missed opportunity was obviously Tesla off of 700. It already gave the fade off of 700. But like, that's why you're not jamming into a short off of that level, because you already had the pullback right into that 680 level that we liked. And that was there. It's come and gone. You can't chase. Didn't like the breakout, though, on Tesla. I don't have a good reason for not liking the breakout. I was looking for a dip buy. Never really got it today in Tesla. It's been only straight to the upside. And we kind of said, if this doesn't go to 800 off of this move, I will be utterly shocked. I'd probably take a little bit off just because if you're looking for any sort of, I mean, look, if you're looking for any kind of swings, I mean, Tesla's 740, 787, and then 800 levels to the upside for Tesla. EVK, you got to rinse and repeat. One of the reasons is it still cannot break. That anytime you get a bottom off of a halt, when it doesn't break that level, you are always in play to take out the high. That's why I'm shorting, got back into the short, but have to take profit in front of 465. If it makes a lower high, I'll jump back into it again. I don't mind rinsing and repeating. Up 120%, but showing signs of cracking. Brendo.
EXPR, just popping up here on volume, guys, got back above $5. There was a volume alert there. You can see 5-10 day highs here for EXPR. This was once kind of in the meme stock group, but faded off pretty quickly. But volume, anyways, coming into EXPR. It's 10:30, guys. Let's get a check on what's happening over in Europe. It is almost the end of the day. 1 hour to go over there. B, what's up?
Hey Brandon, European markets are positive. Aero Engineer Maggot trading in London is up more than 55% after the US firm Parker Hannifin said it would buy the rival in a deal valued at $8.76 billion. Back to you.
Yeah, nice to see positivity here, guys. Although overall, I mean, the S&P not really doing much, trading in a 5 or 6 handle range right now, guys.
So I'm going to come back to Square. if only because it's now broken that 270 MA out once and then sort of flushed back down. Couldn't even get past, like, I mean, this since the 280 break is like 268, so like $2 range at the top. It then broke 270 again and did not make a fresh high. So what is sort of setting up here, I know it's 10:30, we're getting in that lunchtime, and I will get to Moxie. I'm not going long that Moxie. I only like the short pops in that stock, by the way, after the last time we went long. But as we start to make this like tighter and tighter cluster, this is going to set up for another re-entry in square. I'm just trying to be patient about it. It finally made that secondary test of breaking 270 without making the new high. Now it kind of sets up to get it around 268, maybe even like a 269. But I want it breaking back down into this cluster before taking the short. Sometimes you'd rather it start to go rather than make that move too early here, just because you can get a good price. So Square, if it breaks that 268, we like it. I know you guys are looking at Moxie, and yes, if there's size, I like Moxie. But there is no gigantic offer at that 20 level. There is a small one, and if you look at what's happened, everything recently when this thing has popped, it's given you massive retracements, but it did hold up on Friday. So I'm being patient with that 20 level. If it was that ridiculous, like, million shares or whatever, the 500,000 shares we saw on the offer, I'd already be short on Moxie, but it's only 65,000 shares, which is like a tenth of what we were looking at when it was giving you those free money trades. Brendan?
There's a headline on Zoom, guys. They settled that privacy suit that was against them. 85 million settlement reached as far as Zoom paying for the settlement, so down on that 1.4%, but did just break back above 372 there on a decent volume spike. So trying to recover here for ZM.
All right, and we haven't done this too much today, so we'll fire off some hot dogs and we'll talk about doing it for JD, right? So here we go. Be very, very careful on the consumption of hot dogs. As a happy Civic Day to everybody in Canada there today. There'll be a lot of barbecuing, I'm sure, happening. And on that note, let's just continue to barbecue up some profits. What's up to my kids? Probably sitting at home playing Roblox. Maybe we'll have to look at that stock in a minute. But no, they're super busy, these kids. It's unbelievable. I was saying that this weekend was nuts. So there it is, guys. Nice outs. All the way here on JD, man. You got to put that profit in your pocket. We talk about paying yourself, and there it is, right to the upside. Bang, bang, bang. Like, we average in there. The average price is 13. We get some out at 35. I mean, I want to get higher. I mean, what am I supposed to do when it only goes to these levels? Again, like you notice on the way back up, that's for flat. Then we don't get out at all until it comes right back to 30, which was the high of the day. Then it fades back a little bit. We get some out at 25. We always do that, right? And then it comes right back, tests the high of the day, and actually breaks the high of the day. We take a 35 out, okay? And now it's coming back in. So this trade's not going to be a loser today. So we're happy with JD, and I don't even expect it to come back here. So let's wait to see if that can keep going. And then we did get out, so I do have to have a couple alerts. We did get out of NEO, again, absolutely destroying that one. 44.30 there, and then off the sticky note, 45.25 longs, bang, all the way up. Nice out there of our last bid, 75-cent win. Hood Rat is continuing to go upside here. Probably a decent spot. I'm going to put on another short. We've crushed this, but should have destroyed it. Getting out down here on my own notes would have been nice. 35.40 should have been the out there. I would have loved to have a mark down there, but we don't have it. So let's go short more right now on this Hood stock here. 36.60. This is where we're short, guys. So let's take another piece and see if we get lucky.
Absolutely. I'll just come back over to the slower mover of the stocks. It's finally, this is XCUR, finally broke that 168, so 78 level. Got a couple of fills there, tried to get back to 180, continuing its move to the downside. I want to make sure we hang on to some of this, and I have a couple of bids down here. I'll get some more out in front of as 175 breaks, 170. This is a 135 stock, so I do think we can get back to at least 150 to 155 if this continues to roll over. Could be in this one for the long haul. EVK, another rinse and repeat, but I will continue to scalp and take profit off on every single pop on EVK. It was a good short pre-market, but since that hull trade, it's definitely been a tricky one and continuing to make some higher lows here. Brendo?
I just noticed Apple, guys, trying to head back towards day lows at this point. It's only down slightly, 0.25%, but some selling pressure coming back into Apple. There were rumblings earlier last month, I should say. It's August now, not July anymore. But they were talking, Apple was talking about picking up Hello Sunshine, which is Reese Witherspoon's production company, somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 billion. Bloomberg reporting that Blackstone has actually done so for $900 million. So congratulations to Reese Witherspoon, guys.
Good for her.
We just watched the morning show again, so the wife again. Now we are fully involved and engaged. As we went and talked to our son, we went and visited our son at University of Waterloo, and he had the Apple TV, the little thing that he wasn't using. So I actually put the Shield upstairs and put the Apple TV in our main room. So now we logged into Apple TV, which we have. And now we're starting to watch that show again, the morning show. I know Brennan sort of started us with that. I don't know where. I thought Steve Carell was in that one, but I guess he's gone away in the episodes that I'm watching. Look at Affirm, guys. We're talking about this one today. We wrote it down, man, that we couldn't believe it was only up 8%. And I'm going to have to throw some shade at Mr. Mark Roberts here. He got me away from this stock today, thinking that it was going to be negative news for Affirm, and maybe it was a little bit early. And then, yeah, sometimes you got to stick with your gut there and trust that it was going to be a long. And unfortunately, we missed that trade, but it's really nice to see that it is long. So anybody that did read that note there, hopefully you're able to take advantage of that. And we just went near day's high. This might be time to start to short Affirm here today, as we're right at that 50 period. It's right at this level, just because Square bought Afterpay has nothing really to do with Affirm. Is there going to be any other buyers out there? I don't know, but I thought it was going to be a bump. And I'm not going to throw shade at Mark Roberts, although it just did. He's right. Who knows where that's going to go from now? Very surprising move to the upside there, and who knows? I did want to get into LUV Southwest. I want to have a look at that. One of Mark's great picks there as well. PaySafe today up 3%. Good little rotation. We bought some at 10.05 after selling some of our JP Morgan, and we posted that trade right away for you. The only problem is we sold some JP Morgan at 146, 147, so it is still high side here, but as a percentage gain, much better trade there, buying some PaySafe. But still, JP Morgan and these banks holding out high right now. And the only trade that we may or may not lose on today is going to be Ford. Yeah, this is a little bit of barcoding right now. If it dips down, we will get long into 14. I'm willing to lose on this one on a 14 break, like a 13.95 break. So if we get to the downside here, we'll be averaging in, and you'll join us back at 3:15. We'll all be here, and we'll talk a little bit about this trade. Hopefully I don't have it on, and I've already gotten it out in the 20s, guys.
Yeah, I'm getting back to this EVK. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh man, let's see this one go to the upside. Look, we're still holding 465, and I talk about that halt range, holding the bottom on that halt range over and over again. It's just worked rinsing and repeating this short, but at some point, and this is now the third time in this price area at 525, so like we say, the third time's a charm, or basically it's not. If we break the high here, then this last short will be okay, and 560 goes. And we talked about how much room is Tisha Perkins, they're asking, I think, was mentioning here, and I said, if we break past this high again, there is absolute air to the upside, at least on the daily chart in EVK, so it still has room. It's already halted once, could definitely halt again. I just like that reversal to go rinse and repeating it, but if it doesn't break 465, we could be coming back at 315 and talking about how we went to the long side of this trade through 560, but we're not there yet. It's still holding these lows. It's making this nice consolidation here, ample time to roll over. But there is absolute a war going on every time it gets down to 5 even, and there's some buyers in front of every dip. Some of that is obviously going to be short covering. Affirm, I mean, Sean just mentioned Affirm there. Square has still not set up, and I'm going to be very patient about getting back into this one if I try the short again. It still hasn't really set up. I need to break that 268. It's still riding that high. The good sign is if you like the bearish side of the trade just for the day trade, it broke 271, so that stopped me out, stalled at 271.25, and then did the same thing again here and making a lower high. So if we break 268, that does give like a nice risk reward, like 3.25, 3.5 worth of risk. And then if you go from that 268 down into VWAP here, that gives you like almost a 2-to-1, not quite a 2-to-1, but almost a 2-to-1 trade down into 262. So I do like that setup. We'll jump into it, but only on momentum. It has to break that 268 even for me to get into the short. Sava, we're going to get back at this one, but very, very close to making another test at the high of the day. I thought it was going to be 85. Instead, it was 83. We took our long off at 81s. If it breaks towards the high, I think it can be a short off of that 83. But until it gets there, we'll be very, very patient and send you guys to Brennan for Sector Watch. Looking awfully green, that board. Or blue, I suppose.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the overall market here. We are nicely positive, 0.45 to kick off the new month. A lot to talk about on the positive side. Real quick on the downside here, Generac, GPN, both reported earnings not great, so 4.5%, 3% to the downside. Enphase up here in the semiconductor group as well, 2.4%, 2.3% to the downside. But the rest of this group nicely positive. There's Intel, 1.14 to the upside. AMAT's here, QRVO, NXP, CHP, to name a few, all having nice days. It's the banking group, though, that's leading so far today. The entire thing, there is not one negative stock in the entire financial group. So a nice look to start things off for bank stocks, some consumer discretionary names to mention as well. Under Armour here, 5% to the upside. Tapestry, 2.25%. Newell, their NWL. Some of the travel names bouncing back. You remember back on Friday, they were under pressure, so pretty weak to end last week. CCL here, though, 1.5%. All the hotels there, nice day to start things off. Retailers, Target, worth mentioning, 1.9% to the downside. Look at Gap, right above that, though, 2% higher. Yeah, this one, Tesla, 5.2%. Nice day to start things off as well. GM, 1.8% in positive territory, along with Tesla. Far corner over here, utility stocks are strong, real estate, energy, and materials. A number of individual names having good days. But overall, pretty positive, guys. 0.45 for the market. Back to you.
All right, guys, we will hit a home run here a little bit as we go to the casino and bang it out with Hood a little bit there. Off of a nice short here, 36.60, 36.70. We did cash it in there when it goes in the money, 30 pennies. So we still are holding a small piece of it. I'm still expecting Robinhood to come to the downside here. So we'll wait. I mean, I do have another bid in the, where did I put it? Did I put it in the teens? Just to give you guys an idea. No, 30, so even lower. No, I didn't put in it. Actually, I didn't put it at all. I didn't put any bids. So I do think that we can get out 36.10 or so around here. Would be nice if we can have that. I don't have a bid there, but that's not a horrible spot, for that stock. And then JD, again, we already talked about how that failed to the upside. CCL's moving, Palantir's moving a bit. Oh, wow, look at Alibaba. What a great, I mean, this is off earnings. So I don't know if this is a sign here to come for Alibaba, but you're up that 3% now. Nice move off 200. So 196 bottom there on a daily chart. Alibaba looking pretty smooth, man, for a ride to the upside. So I am expecting today to be into this area tomorrow, 210, 215. Hopefully we can get a good earnings report there for Alibaba. And then here we go, man, straight to the downside. So this is what we're talking about. My first bid now. So we took a small spot and then now we're tripled up. So I took triple the shares on Ford. So this is, you guys have wanted this, and I, telling you when we're trying to put some shares on, to triple the shares here in Ford at this level. That's why my average price right now is 1407.75. Let's see if it fails down here, 1396. This could be a loser. We're going to see about Ford. Not great news here today. Let's see if it does bounce. But Ford on the way down now. Was not expecting that off that call there, Brendan.
Yeah, so I just got into GE here. General Electric, obviously this is now $102, so I'm long at $102.46. But I just want to point out this $12.80 price. If you go back into last week on the 27th and do a little bit of math, you will get approximately, I mean, look, you do the math here, you're going to get about that 102.40 area off of this particular low. So as we do split adjust back to the upside, that's why we're going to look at that pre-market low and then this 102.40. If it takes out 102 even, I'm not going to give it a ton of room. I don't know if these split adjusted prices will matter too much, but this was obviously a good long if you had a pre-market, just coming all the way back in a market that's overall flat, coming all the way back in is GE. So if it holds 102, I think good chance you can get like a 103 scalp style trade here, guys. So no, GE's not up 700%. Our charts are not going to be, at the end of the day, we're still going to show up 700% like a lot of platforms will, but you guys know it is that reverse split that finally came in. I'll give this one to 102, but we only identified a couple of levels, 102.40 and 108 were the two levels that we liked. So I'm long here at 102.40. I'll only give it to that next obvious even dollar level on that retracement play. But GE, that came back in a hurry. I actually wrote that one off, not thinking it was going to come into play. And I know you guys, I know a lot of people are looking for the bullish trade, and it's still going up, EVK. But as long as shorting each pop on consolidation works in front of the high of the day, we'll keep doing it. So the last one just tested 560 again, got to about 550, was able to get 45s, scalp some out here at 25. I'll get some out in front of 10s. I'll get some out in front of VWAP. And then if it breaks 465, I'm still bidding 420. So lots still going on with EVK, and it's a nice upward trend, setting up for potential breakout, but also giving us the opportunity to rinse, repeat, and do, I don't know, I'm going to hit this one because I have no idea what this key is. Oh, it is that key. My board's still messed up. If you actually saw half my keys, I can't even tell what they are until I hit them. So afterwards, EVK still heading to the upside, but we're shorting every pop and able to make money doing it. At some point, 560 could break. And if that breaks up, be careful. This stock fully capable of halting to the upside.
That's the thing. Keep going, guys, until you can make back you know, if you just scalp it, and hopefully you guys have that opportunity. And again, if you're on PDT or things like that, it's going to be hard to do that. But that's, I mean, when stocks are moving, you got to sort of take the opportunity. So we did average into Ford here, so it just pops back a small bit. No problems here, but we'll wait to see if it can come back. I'll take a little bit out at 10 just to reward ourselves, like we keep saying, and then we'll see if it goes after that. But we'll reward ourselves a bit at 10 if it goes, and then average it in all the way down to 13.95 or so. We're going to watch out to see what happens at that level. And then just an update, man, AMC did fall back down in. So this is getting to a level now where I think we should be able to buy AMC right into these dips, so 38, 36. So I think that's what we'll do right now, man. We'll put on a bid here for AMC and see if we get lucky enough to have that trade on and have it as a winner. So we'll see if AMC can't pay off here using some of these bottoms, 36.80, 36.90, something like that here for AMC makes a lot of sense here for me. So we'll do that, and we'll see about a 36.80 bottom. We're right here right now. So this is very, very close to that bottom. So let's see if AMC wants to rock and roll there to the upside now. Outs, I mean, maybe 36.50. You got to give this one a little bit of love, guys. Don't like tap out so early. But AMC right now battling through 37s.
So I see you, you guys don't have to do the all caps. We can get to the chat we want to. Only about 10 minutes to go. We can go over some of the positions we have. GE immediately testing that 102, so that could be like a quick one and done. This would have been so much better in the pre-market, but wasn't looking at GE pre-market and should have been. This AUTL, I don't see a heck of a lot exciting about this. I mean, just given the fact that it gave that 930 rollover trade, a lot of times when it holds the pre-market low, when that rollover holds a pre-market low on any kind of a gap up, the setup usually would be if it can hold VWAP, you get a bit of a breakout in the afternoon, well, at least breakout potential in the afternoon. It does have a ridiculously choppy chart that's only been to the downside. That's why I would have been looking to fade it if you can, but that's pretty messy action on this to like a trade. Like if it's parabolic into a higher level, that's a little more exciting. So it's hard for me to be excited about the breakout here on AUTL. If you're up at like $8, that would definitely be a fade for me, guys, but we're not up at that particular price. And then there goes, what was that? Yeah, GE just took out that low. So we try it. I know it's not going to seem, well, of course it's not. Sorry. When it's not split adjusted, it's kind of frustrating because our charts are going to be pretty ugly on GE for the next few weeks or months because it's not split adjusted. 102 gets taken out. Like I said, that 102.40 was a level off of last week's one of last week's support levels. It does break almost immediately, so only need to risk like 50 pennies on that GE trade. If it manages to hold here like failed breakdown, could revisit that back into the upside here, but I'm not going to dig too deep into that when I was just looking at a level from last week. If it could hold, it did not, so gonzo on GE. Still like it long term. That was a pure scalp off of last week's one of last week's bottoms.
Okay, so alert, alert, alert. This could be one of our first losing trades here as Ford, still looking to be the same, not moving. It did get as high as 9 there. We were waiting for 10, but I'm not going to take 2 pennies. I mean, I would, but you know, I'm hoping for more on that one. And then we go into a position right now, and that's going to be AMC. So we're waiting for that one to sort of pop through at some point here. That's going to be AMC long right now, 36.70, like we said. So we are in that name now, watching to see where we go from here as AMC looking to go long side now. Hopefully, we're only right here at 70. We're going to dump it if it gets through to 50. And if we look, I mean, it's definitely paper hands on this long if it dumps back down through, but I just don't want, this is 36.50 right here. You know, if we do break it, we probably retest this. So this is why, again, not really looking to do too much damage here on AMC, but I do like it for the long. So we'll see 36.50, hopefully, you know, and again, if I'm going to give it 20 cents or so down, I'd like to get some of this out at least at 37 if we can do that. That should be a good trade for us on AMC. But again, you know, small area here for us on that one. So we'll look to see where we go with that. Other than that, man, right now we're just wrapping up some of our positions. JD, 20 cents, still 20 cents in the money. Robinhood, still 11 cents in the money. And then Ford just chilling out and AMC chilling out. So right now we'll see what happens here coming into the close.
Yeah, and this is why we kept saying over and over again, take profit, take profit, take profit. No one ever went broke taking profit on EVK. I said if it holds that halt low, it's going to set up for a breakout. So I get out. I mean, I could do this with one order, by the way. Like it's going long to reversing into a short. We have to declare our short to day trade the world. Would have to be 2 orders. But going into the long, I actually could have had just 1 order and resized it to reverse long. You can see 2 entries here. So I end up paying an extra couple of pennies on the long and get a better exit on the short trade at 560. Then get 66s long. I do immediately take some out in front of 6 even on the way up because it's an even dollar range. But if it continues to break higher, I actually thought, and I said a couple of times, this could halt if it broke 6 even. It resisted halting at about 625. Like, it looked like it was about to maybe press into that kind of a range and then pull back. But if it holds 550, like, this one could still break 6 and still could be halting to the upside. Looking pretty strong relative to that RMED is still EVK. I know we made a little bit back shorting that one into positive territory, but now the long and jailbreak is back on EVK. Brendo, time for money talks. Wow, only 10 minutes left to go.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Bit of a quiet start to the new week as far as currency markets are concerned. We had decent moves, if you remember, back on Friday with a weaker US dollar. So pretty stable as far as things are concerned today. The euro basically flat. Same story for the Canadian dollar. British pound exactly flat. Back to 139. On the nose there, the Australian dollar and New Zealand here, both in positive territory. Turkish lira to the downside, 1%. As far as cryptos are concerned, I highlighted Ethereum here. You can see over on the chart, holding, near or at recent highs anyways. As far as the daily chart is concerned, it did test 2,500 once again, but back to 26 and change, up 8%, where Bitcoin, guys, back below 40 again. We got up to around 42 over the weekend, but a little bit of a sell-off for Bitcoin to start the week, guys.
Yep. Starting a little bit. I mean, I think the rotation now is probably back into Ether. And I got a shout out to my wife. She's in that Zed horses. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. A horse sold for $200,000 the other day. So I'm hoping that's one of hers, but it's not. So here we go to the upside now. This is Ethereum. What a great little spot that was to get some money. And you guys know we bought some Cardano at $1. That's only 30% higher right now only. This was a good dip buy. It keeps happening, man. 17 right there on Ethereum, up to 26 and change. And now, look, at these levels, I don't know. Like, I don't really have an opinion in the middle here. I'm obviously long it along a lot, so we'll wait to see where we go. But next time it dips into this 14-15 area, I'm not going to wait for it to dip even lower. I'm going to step in and buy some of Ethereum. So I just need to load back up on that one. But we're hella long in the crypto space, obviously much more than the 5 or 10% of the portfolio that it was initially, just because of the moves. And by the way, we're doing it again, man. There goes AMC right now to the upside here. We can take some out, 94, 95, and there it is. There's that exactly 1-to-1-ish kind of ratio right there on AMC. So, hey man, today's been a perfect day. AMC, Ford, Hood, JD, Neo, and Palantir. So glad to be back and hope you're enjoying the show today.
Absolutely. Just got a bit of a dip buy in EVK here as it continues that breakout, but there's a random battle happening at 575. It's not 560, the breakout price that we had initially. I took some shares there above 80. I was looking to get even more if it would go down to like that 68 area, and kind of feels like I might have missed that chance. I still like this for a chance to break 6. Obviously, if it were to halt now, you'd probably be talking something closer to that 650 range. I did think it was about to go to the halt upside here, and then someone decided to sell it off. For this trade, I think it's, for me at least, if it does go into a halt state, I'd probably look to hold a little piece of it, thinking it has some room to run. It's been pretty strong all morning long. A lot of times when it sets up for that like post-halt short, if it doesn't initially push to the downside, even test that 4 even, you do tend to think it'll get a little bit bullish here. So I wish I'd add a second time here, but I will hold at least some if this does want to make a kind of halt move to the upside. I can tell you, Square, we're being patient because it's still not, I keep going NASDAQ, it's still not set up yet. I'm only going to short this if it breaks back below 268. And even that, now I'm going to go ahead and cancel because one of my conditions was that it needed to hold that 271 high. It just broke that top again. Now I want to see it set a second range or a new range at least before I would jump back into shorting this one. Entirely too strong here today. Score up 10%. I'm happy it is. But that 270 level was too juicy not to take a look at going parabolic into. I think the way that I played it was probably a little bit faulty, kind of getting trapped into this first rollover. If I just wait for 270, then it would have been at worst a flat trade, if not actually a small winner.
All right, there. We just look at that. Yeah, I can't believe Square up that 10%. Wowee wooey on that one. And then we can check back on Affirm as well. We just tweeted out AMC that we were very, very patient waiting for that one today, and we did talk about that. So good movement up on Square, on Square too, but on AMC, and there's the cash rate there. So maybe it's not a winner after all when we decide to settle this down, but right now it's looking pretty good here to the downside now for AMC, but we did touch out that 37 area. Really no reason for that to stop there, so I am thinking that we can get back to like 37.60 and see if we can't take a smooth dollar on this. But again, we've already taken out that 30-40 cents. Only a couple minutes left. I'm excited. Wow, I mean, there goes Square. I know Neil just talking about Square, but I should have taken this 270 break there, didn't, so that's a mistake there. So we can only check back on Affirm, where we thought that was probably need to go up more than 8%, still up that 9.5, not doing much. JD though, guys, I mean, what a big win this has turned out to be. And I'm actually offering right now, I thought I was offering at 49, but I'm not. So I want to put an offer now at 49 for JD, guys. This is a 44-cent winner right now. So feeling like Superman today. Hopefully we're performing pretty good for you, taking a lot of winners here, and it's definitely been a fun day. So JD, let's take this out again right now for 50 cents right now. We're long at 71.99. So a good little trade here on JD. Again, off the sticky note, guys. Thanks for continuing to support that.
And continuing that upward trend is going to still be that EVK. Setting up, like, I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, a bit of a bull flag. A lot of times I would short a level like this on that kind of a setup, but not here, not with the stock that's been halting. We've done enough shorting on this thing and made some money doing it, but I want to be involved in that long potential jailbreak. I'll hang on to XCUR, but we're still in the middle of earnings season, guys, so there are a lot of names to come through, especially this week, and you have that jobs report coming at the end of the week. But let's go to Brendan and see what we have on the board for tonight, and then, of course, pre-market tomorrow.
Yeah, in fact, going to be an interesting week, guys, as far as earnings, mostly later in the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, some bigger names coming. But here we go. Yeah, what's to come tonight and before the open tomorrow?
Oh,
Nicola.
Yeah, we got Nicola, we got my favorite in there, Alibaba. We've been talking about that, Simon Property Groups. We're hell along that name as well in the 765, 70 area. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's going to be a few in there. We know Mark's talking about Marriott. Anything else there?
Nothing. I mean, there's a few. I mean, Under Armour. Look, that's been a mover before, but I mean, Nike over Under Armour. We'll have a look at it because it's a lot of times it gives you a trading opportunity, possibly only then, but not a heck of a lot. You stick right in the middle of that group, guys, and I think that you can't go wrong. Of course, all of these sort of Chinese companies listed in the U.S. are going to continue to be in play. That's not going anywhere. All the fintech, because of Square today and the firm, I think those are going to be in play as well. But, I mean, I got one of these for free at the J game on Friday. Oh my God, it was so good to actually be at a live sporting event. I can't tell you how much that was a lot of fun. But you can't go wrong with one of these on any particular day, Miss V, for the National Day. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a civic holiday in Canada, but for the first time, it's Emancipation Day as well. And that's what the National Day is for me. But let's see what the one Miss V chose is. It's delicious.
Hey guys, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you're having a great day so far. And team, please make sure you like this video. Today is a Canadian holiday and we're still here for you. So we'd really appreciate your support. We will see you at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And happy National Ice Cream Sandwich Day, everyone.
So I got redonkulously lucky on Friday. My wife and I had season tickets to the Blue Jays, and we were able to get in our seats, and then our rep came by in the first inning and was like, do you guys want an upgrade? And we got to sit in the GM seats, and they give you free ice cream bars at the end of the game. I'll probably never actually sit in those seats again, but it was a fantastic experience. I will eat ice cream bars all day, every day, but I will say something about just plain old vanilla ice cream with Oreo cookies the way to go. I think that's better than these ice cream bars here, but that's just me.
The Oreo Blizzard, Yeah. Or the McFlurry there with the Oreos. But yeah, Ice Cream Sandwich Day, great opportunity there. Great opportunity to have them at the baseball game, and glad that they're back. Obviously, the Jays sweep the poor Kansas City Royals out of town, but still 3.5 or so out of a wild card. And we will, continue to, wish good luck on our troll there as it continues to go. But ice cream sandwiches, Brendo?
Yeah, sure, why not? Quick headline while we're here, guys, on Tesla, if anyone's watching. Tesla, that Piedmont Mining, saying they're pushing back the date to begin supplying the company with lithium for their batteries. And they also said up here, they do not have a definitive timeline now to begin supplying them with lithium. So that was that recent deal that they did for batteries, guys.
Tesla looking strong, up to 5.5%, 725 it's still sitting at, so fantastic. If it gets to 740, maybe take a little bit off, 787 as well. But we got to get out of here. We're right back. We're coming right back, of course, at 3:15. You guys know all about it. The close is always a good one. I expect some fireworks today, especially in the fintech space. Square now at like 273 by the way, but EVK just pulled back. It just got me out at 560 on a 560 break, so the breakout again gives a small win and then takes the rest back, and I'll probably jump back at the shorts at this point. For the entire team, Miss V, for Brendan Wickens and myself, Neil Roberts, good to have you back. Sean Katina, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we'll see you at the close. Bye, guys.